fan. I mean, I like it. I like it.
What's up, everyone? How you guys doing?
Good, man. Chill.
Doing awesome, man.
Fantastic. Glad the weekend's here. Very nice.
Yep. Yeah, I got started a little late. That was my fault. I know everybody was in the chats like, come on. I know the Deadman's sleeping right now, taking a nap. But no, guys, I'm awake. Don't worry. Deadman's here. Got some of my co-hosts with me. John from the beginning from Morphs-Forge. We got Will from Python Portal. And we got Mark from Rat Bastard. Glad to have you on here, Mark.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Vance.
Hey, no problem, anytime. How you guys doing?
Awesome, man.
Nice.
Can't forget that chameleon. Got to introduce that
I know.
He's just chilling.
Yeah, he is.
I know it caught me off guard when we were backstage. I wasn't paying much attention. Then I seen something. I'm like, oh yeah, he's always got the animals on his head.
She's in the process of shedding out right now. So
nice.
Hey, that's a girl, right?
Yeah, she's in a pretty good mood today. She's pretty happy. See if I can get her to show her head. She's all bright and red.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Oh yeah.
All fired up.
Yeah.
Nice.
So those like to fire up too, like the geckos, huh?
You know, I think a lot of it's just based off their mood and like their colors. Like, I take her outside and like when the sun hits her, she looks really fired up though.
Nice.
So they definitely like that UVB.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing I like to try to do, man. Every chance I get the snakes or whatever reptiles out there, some of the lizards and shit, take them out in the sun. And right now is the perfect time.
Hell yeah.
We definitely got some good weather.
Yeah, we've had sun for a couple months now. It's been back and forth. We got overcast, like yesterday was overcast, but we've had plenty of good sunny days out. So time for me to start getting some more pictures done and all that. I love getting those outdoor pictures, man. You could really pick up those colors. I did one with
much better.
Yeah, I'm gonna do one with the scrambler. I think I've done one. Yeah, I did take one with him outdoors already, but I got to get another one. Try to get a better shot. Well, the thing is, like, I guess at this time I could do it out in my backyard, but the front, my yard guy, he hasn't shown up in like 6 weeks and shit. I got the back all mowed so I could take him back there and take pictures, but yeah,
My backyard was a mess.
like 2 foot tall weeds and shit. I got hay. If anybody needs some hay, I got some in my front yard. I'm making bills and shit. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I'm thinking I'm probably gonna go mow the yard and send him a bill. Say, hey, here's $60. Actually, 100 because it's growing out long, so it's gonna take me a while.
For real. Let's get all these hoodlums in the audience.
Like today.
I was just thinking the same thing, John. We got Nick from 6. What's up, Nick? And make sure, Brave, what's up? Hope all is well. Hope you're enjoying the smoothies. Make sure you go check out Nick. Nick on Sipping with Serpents at 5:30 Pacific time or 7:30 East Central time, I believe.
Central, yeah.
5:30 Pacific. So make sure you check him and Justin out. Sammy, what's up? Sammy was just on here with us. You guys missed it. He was on a party bus. He was actually right now he's going to pick up John, Jimmy and Jason, and then he's going to be heading over here to the West Coast to get me and Mark and Will. So we'll we'll be on that party bus, the Uber bus that he's got going right now.
Hopefully it doesn't get detoured through the lagoon.
Yeah, right. As long as he has more than 2% gas, we'll be all right.
Right.
What's up, Jason? Hope all is well.
What's up, Jason?
And who the hell is this guy?
Oh man, some crazy weirdo. I don't know. Get this guy out of here. Mike, what's going
What's
on?
going on, Mike?
Hope all is well with you. Mike's a great guy. We got Will double dipping. We got Marcus and Tiffany. Hope you guys are doing well.
Gambala.
Thanks for coming out. I appreciate everybody coming out and everything.
Yeah.
We got, speaking of, we got Black Lagoon Creatures, Tyson.
What up,
What's
Tyson?
going on? So something pretty cool. Tyson, a lot of you guys have probably seen that he's been doing a lot of videos, like stories. So he'll put a picture up in there of different people. There's been me, John, Will, Mark, all of us, and
Keys, Justin, Sammy.
Yeah, Sammy.
He's got a lot of people up there. Danny.
Keys. And so he's got, it's like, I just said it backstage. What was it, John? We were talking about Goosebumps. It's a lot
There
like
you go.
Goosebumps, so it's pretty cool. But he made some shirts up too for a few people. And earlier I had to run around and do some errands. That's why I was kind of late getting onto the show, onto the podcast. But I stopped by the mailbox and was expecting a package that Tyson sent me. So, boom, we got the Blue Zombie Morph.
Wow. Oh, wow. You did a really good job on that.
Hell yeah.
That's nice.
Slimed
man.
everything, man.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then, let me see here. Give me 1 second. I might have to take my shirt off and show you guys because I'm not trying to throw my back out, trying to kneel down.
Yeah, understandable.
You're going to hear me scream and hear the ambulance.
Oh, that's cool.
Look at that. RWO.
That's cool.
Reptile World Order.
Very nice. Well done, man.
Nicely done, Tyson.
Yeah, for sure.
Tyson's been putting in a lot of work, and he
Yes, he has.
created those storylines, and a lot of different people out there are really enjoying them.
Yep. He's serving the country and serving some Goosebumps reptile stuff in the reptile community. So
We appreciate you, sir.
shout out to you, and
Yes,
thank
sir.
you for your service also.
Absolutely.
And thank you for the
that
shirt.
shit's awesome.
That is really awesome. I love it. I was super stoked when I seen it. I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I've been
That
trying to
was
do
nice.
this, the lettering with the Blue Zombie Morphs and get it all like real drippy and everything. Pause. And when I did the AI, I did the new image on the Thunderdome that you guys have seen. And I was having issues with it. So anyways, he did that really nice. I liked it. Ro, what's going on?
What's going
What's
on,
going on,
man?
Ro?
I just got
Nothing
done
much.
streaming, bro.
And hey, thank you for your
Appreciate
service too,
as
Ro.
well.
Appreciate it. Thank you, man.
For sure.
It's all good. What y'all got going on, man? How y'all feeling?
Good.
Man, chill mode.
The
Chilling,
weekend-
and feeling thankful for all you
Great
guys out there
weekend,
every day,
yeah.
man.
Exactly.
Thank you, man. Hey, somebody got to do it.
Right.
Absolutely, yep. Well,
Yeah,
much
it's
appreciated.
different changing pace right now because I just got to my new unit and special forces, they do basically what they want to do. I work with hand in hand with the special forces, and it's like stuff that I used to go by. It's just different now. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to go through these people and all that good stuff. Like, oh, just send it there. You don't
Right.
you skip chain of command and stuff sometimes. So
Yeah.
Nice.
it just
Very cool.
taking a little used to get used to get used to. How you say it?
Now it sounded right to me.
I know. I was like, it sounded good.
I don't know. I don't know how else you would say that, but yeah.
Yeah.
Knew what you meant.
Yeah, hell yeah. So, how many more years do you got?
8.
8 more?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah,
And
signed
then
my in-depth contract like 2 months ago, to go indefinite. So they got me for the rest, till 20 years, 21, whenever they decide to, oh yeah, you good, you can retire.
Right.
But yeah, man.
Gotcha.
Well, that'd be
And
awesome.
you're enlisted too, right, RO?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
enlisted. I might go warrant officer. Depends on if I want to switch over to warrant officer. My NCORs, like my yearly evaluations, I
Yeah.
have to have 5 of them. I only got 3 right now, so 2 more years that will put me at 14 years. About 15, I like put in for my warrant officer. But at that time, do I even want to do that? Because they gonna extend me. They be like, oh yeah, you gotta do 6 more years. Well, we
Yeah.
get because they want that longevity out of you.
Yeah.
Right.
You're not just gonna get warrant officer 2 and then chief warrant officer 2 and be like, yeah, deuces.
Warrant officer 2. Peace. I'm out.
Yeah, that's
I'm out
all
this
I
bit.
need.
Yeah.
Yeah. When they offered me my E6, I was like, I'm good. I've served enough active duty,
Mhm.
when after 5.5 years. And then, like I said, I went into the reserves for a total of 8. So 2.5 more years on active reserves. But
Mhm. Thank you for your
it was
service.
it was a good time. I miss the camaraderie,
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah.
For sure. It's always fun, It ain't like the real world. You can go back, you can go, go drink beers over at your fucking friend's house at 2:00 in the morning, and they won't say shit,
Yeah, I remember. I
Right.
remember coming in at 5:30 in the morning, pretty hungover, doing PT.
Right.
Staying out all night, having a good time.
Yeah, I used to do that all the time, especially when I was over in Germany. Doing my private days and specialist days. Just
Where
go out on the train,
Where was that at?
Grafenwehr, Germany.
Okay, I was in Baumholder.
Oh, okay. I was over in 173rd.
Yeah, I was with the First Armored Division,
Mm-hmm.
headquarters company.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
you love that over there, over bomb holder.
Yeah, I didn't really get a chance to travel too much because I was there for 3 months and then went straight overseas. Went
Where
to
did you go?
Kuwait and then went to Iraq.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because those was during those times was like what 2010 maybe.
Yeah,
Yup.
yeah,
Doing
earlier. Yeah. So I went in like 2002. So yeah,
Oh,
5.5 years.
oh yeah. During the fucking real wartime, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now it's just fucking cyber war. Who got this, that? We don't really do too much unless we got to. But
Oh yeah. No, yeah. I was a 63 Bravo, so I was a light wheeled vehicle mechanic,
mhm.
and then we just ended up doing a lot of recovery missions and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, pulling shit out the dirt and
Yeah, we work with special forces too. I remember working on some of their vehicles. We had to repair like a power steering line for them. Had to fab up a hose and stuff. It was
Oh no,
good times.
yeah. I've been to Afghanistan once. I've been deployed technically once, but when I was on 173rd, we used to go to Lithuania, go to Ukraine. Like I helped build up Ukraine before people even knew about Ukraine was in 2013 or whatnot. And then people just started hearing about Ukraine like around 2018, 2017. So
Yeah,
it was fun working with the Ukrainians and the Canadians and Lithuanians.
yeah,
Yeah, man.
yeah. We work with the Canadian forces too overseas, and the Koreans, and
Oh yeah,
all kinds of different forces.
Yeah,
cool.
with the Katusas and stuff. I was stationed over in Korea, Camp Humphreys for about a year and a half, and whatnot. It was fun. Korea was fun. And now at this time, you just go overseas and travel. You know, you don't really have to worry about nothing. You just your units just doing their annually exercises in the field and stuff about
Yeah.
heavy days, and
Back
that's
in
it.
Garrison, right?
Yeah, that's it.
What's up, James?
What up, James?
What's up, James B?
But yeah, man, what y'all got going on for the day this weekend, man?
Probably just get a few things done around the house. I got to mow the grass and probably barbecue. Take care of. I just got some the wood chipper, the chipper to go or whatever, or wood chip from Chris. Got that in. So
How you liking that?
To be honest with you, I usually use the Freedom Breeder, but for the auction, I got some, so I was like, well, I'm going to try it out and see. So this will be my first time right now.
Okay.
But
yeah, I just had to go back to Coco because I usually put my snakes on puppy pads or whatever because it was real good down there in Louisiana. The humidity was good and stuff because it's swampy. But now I just went back to Coco because the humidity here in North Carolina isn't that good. So
right.
Yeah.
I use Coco
difference.
too, up in the Pacific Northwest. What about you, Will? What do you use for substrate in your tubs?
I try to just find like mulch, safe type of mulch, and I put that in there now. I used to do Reptile and whatnot, but I didn't really like it as far as just I would have mold and stuff with that a lot of the time, and so I just found something local that was all natural mulch of some sort, and now I just put that in there, and I'm good.
Nice.
No mold, and it just keeps the humidity, and you don't have to sit there and wet it a whole bunch or anything. It just kind of just put a little bit on top, and then it lasts for quite a few days, actually.
Yeah. I just like it. Keep up the humidity with the cocoa.
Yeah.
Man, like, yo, that I would love to stay on puppy pads, but it's a no-go.
Do you still use the puppy pads, bro, for like the babies?
Huh?
Do you still use the puppy pads for the babies?
Well, all of mine are basically grown, like subadult.
Oh, okay.
Like 500 grams or bigger.
But like, if you were gonna have a clutch right now, would you still use the puppy pad for like?
Oh yeah.
Because I was thinking about doing that when you said that a few months back when you were talking about that. I was like, man, I want to try the puppy pads, like when I get the clutches going and everything again.
Yeah. And then I keep all my stuff ambient anyways. I keep like my ball pythons, my berm, and the chondros ambient. So
nice. Hell yeah.
So like maybe the lowest he'd get 79, 70, 78. The highest he'd get in here is like 87, 85.
Okay. Oh yeah.
I just got a little space heater or whatever. Like when it get below a certain point, like temperature, it turn on to like 85 degrees or whatever, how you feel in the room. Because then I know if it's 85 degrees in a room, that means it's like maybe a degree down or two from the 85. So I know they're not getting hot. I know, if it's 85 in a room in the tub, it at least got to be 83 or something like that, or 84. So
exactly. Nice.
That's how I do it. And then plus, now I'm saying, like, it's beneficial for me because I know I'm not, cooking shit in the tub now, because the heating pads and stuff. So I have to look very closely now to make sure, they well taken care of.
Nice. Hell yeah.
For sure, that works, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know all kinds of people use all kinds of different substrates. I know I've got friends that use like the construction paper from Home Depot, for their tubs.
Oh
There's
yeah.
people, all kinds of different substrates for different geographic locations, and different things
Yeah.
work for different people, right? So as long as the animals are healthy, that's the most important thing, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's true.
Absolutely.
Whatever
Yeah,
works for you.
I was going to say the cypress has been great because of that mold issue Will was talking about. I mean, we were on cocoa for 3 years almost, but depending on what time of year and how much we misted to keep them humid, it's like we had to mist so much that you get mold under the top of the cocoa.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Pull the cocoa
Justin,
aside, and there you'd see it. You know.
Yeah.
Oh,
since Justin up in here, because this man Justin little baby right here, it's called a Dirt McGirt. Looks like a little dirty yellow.
nobody wants to see me, John.
I know. I'm trying to grab, but I keep grabbing this chat box. Like, where did this chat box come from?
I was thinking
There
the
we
same
go.
thing, John. I seen that too.
There we go.
I have
Yeah,
no
that's
idea
old
how
Dirt
that
McGirt.
popped.
Just ate last night, belly full. Starting this OCC. So with yellows, I noticed because usually they will be red, so it's starting to go gray. That's how I know they finna, start going through its OCC and stuff. So
Very nice.
it's about to be good. Justin, yeah, me and Justin, little baby,
Oh
growing
yeah.
them up.
So that's for Justin.
Me and Justin, we went in on it.
Oh,
We went in on it.
Jesus.
that's a beautiful snake.
Oh, there we go.
Oh shit.
That's really
Yeah, this
nice.
one, man, it don't change much. Not yet, at least. It's been stuck like this for a past about month and a half. Just this phase right here. It's almost done with its OCC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, I like that dorsal pattern. Those eyes are killer.
Oh yeah. Just ate last night. I feed them. I feed them pretty good now because I understand, like, people like saying every 4 days feed them, but one mice ain't really gonna do it. You have to feed them like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
This is from who's this? Mike Marshall's Arfag. We got Arfag, Sarong, and Cyclops in the mix.
Nice. Is that
Those
blues I'm
blues.
seeing in the back row?
Yeah.
Yeah, the blues. The diamonds look real good.
That's nice.
Are they harder? Are they harder to breed than ball pythons, Kurt? But they easier to take care of than ball pythons. Because
will that get
sit up in this box or sit up in a cage and on the perch? Just got
Yeah,
to
they're
change
just in the perch all the time.
Yep, just got to change their stuff. Oh yeah, this one's going through its OCC right now. This about a year and a half.
will that last one change to like a blue?
We gonna see.
Find out. Okay.
This was yellow like 2 weeks ago. Well, a week and a half ago, it was yellow. Now it's going through its OCC.
Nice.
Yeah, it's almost like a blue sapphire type color.
Yeah. So hopefully.
Yeah, it's pretty cool how they go through those color phase changes and then look completely different.
Yeah, I got about like maybe 2 years, 3 years before I can start producing. I just got them now, man. I just got them now. So when I almost in time for the retire, then I could just, breed snakes and chill.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
Like,
that's smart. That's
when you
what I'm
retire in
trying to do.
30 years from that contract you keep signing up for.
Oh, no. That's it. 20 years, that's it. 20 years, that's it.
Yeah. Do you have a hard time keeping the animals when you're like moving from duty station to duty station, or have you not like had to move too frequently, RO?
So I just moved from Louisiana. I was there for about 2.5 years, and to North Carolina. So that was my first move with the animals. So,
okay.
Yeah, I've been keeping for about 2.5, 3 years or whatnot. But it's not difficult.
Yeah.
Just put them in a little bag and then just move them. But that's why like only have maybe about 20 animals. I just downsize or whatever because now I'm not trying to be no full-time breeder. You know, if I get one clutch, you know, if I get one clutch of chondros is like, well, sometimes it could be 5 or sometimes it could be like 18.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of babies to take care of, you know, neos. And then if you have 2 clutches of that in a year, that's like about 20, 30, you know, neos that you have to care for. So to me, all you need is like 3, 4 good females and the rest males and you good.
Right.
But with the ball pythons, right now I got maybe about 3 good female ball pythons.
Yeah.
And I'm not breeding no burns. Hell no.
No.
Hell no. They just good to look at. No.
Oh, look at this. I got 72 eggs.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Only a few people to buy.
Hell.
Right.
That's
They go pretty fast though nowadays, guys.
Yeah.
Depending upon what
do.
you have, you know.
You got to build up clientele, have some good stuff and everything.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I was gonna do like 7 years ago. I was gonna and even previous before that, I was gonna do just like berms. And then it's weird how it kind of switched, where it's like I'm pretty much doing the ball pythons, and I'm sure I will have a few clutches. I know eventually of some berms, but it's not something I'm gonna go crazy with.
Mm-hmm. Hit up Dylan. Dylan might got something for you that you know.
Yeah. Dylan's got some really nice berms.
Yeah, I think he got a female available. I believe so. It is a green double head albino. I think
Granite. Yeah.
Yeah, granite.
Yeah, it's a good looking animal for sure.
The next, I want to get a female. I want to get a pied and het caramel and like het granite at least. Hopefully het albino and green, but that doesn't matter as long as I got a pied and then het albino and granite.
Yeah, you definitely got to just talk to Dylan. You know what I'm saying? And then he'll
caramel. Sorry. Yeah, Dylan's got some good stuff.
Yeah, I'm kind of stuck on that labyrinth.
Right. Yeah. Granite and labyrinth. I like a hypogranite albino, you know, so the pearl with granite, or those look pretty sick.
Pearls are nice.
Looking at these little auctions, they got a clown pie head lab on the auction right now for $395.
Oh shit.
That'd be nice, you know, like a what's that, Holy Grail?
The Holy Grail project.
Yeah, Holy Grail project. Matter of fact.
Damn.
Yeah, Bear with Red Onion Reptiles. He's really big into that Holy Grail project. He's got a lot of nice animals.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I gotta stay off of that.
I was just gonna say, I don't even open that shit no more. Yeah. I can't look at it no more.
Because I would just be making bets and I ain't got no room for nothing else.
Right.
Yeah. I'm just
I got room, but I don't need it.
Right. Yeah, there's only like 2 snakes that I'm looking at on there that I've been looking at for a long time, and that's it. I don't go looking for anything else. Like, if I'm just interested in a combination, just wanting to know what it looks like or something, that's one thing. But as far as looking for something, no, I just
doing some research. Yeah.
Yeah.
What projects y'all doing this year?
Anybody want to go first?
Sure, I will. So I've got like a pet quality clutch, and then I'm trying to hit like a pastel lesser clown. My second clutch that I only got 3 eggs, but they're huge. And then my most recent clutch, I'm trying to hit like a pastel phantom pied.
Pastel.
We'll see what happens.
I love pie, man. I don't give a fuck what people say. I love pie. I just I made a what is it? Shit, Gene X. I made a Gene X Dreamsicle last year. it's taking a little bit for her to, grow up and stuff. But yeah,
Gorgeous though.
yeah, she in shed right now. I was like, man. I thought it was a pastel Gene X, but no, it's just Gene X. Laugh pod.
Nice.
Not sure where Jamie is, but I'm pretty sure she's on her way to give you a big ass hug, Ro. You just brought up her favorite thing in the world, some goddamn pieds.
Pieds.
We just keep getting more pieds.
I love pies, yo.
She does too. Yeah.
And,
We just keep getting more pied shit.
Dreamsicle's what really got me in the pod project or whatnot. Well, in the breeding, honestly, because I always just wanted to make one. And luckily enough, I made one, my first clutch. So
that's awesome.
Nice. Congrats, man.
Hell yeah.
Now I'm just cruising along, just make sure they good and kept well.
Right.
Absolutely. We scaled
What
way
about
back
you,
on the
Will?
numbers this year.
What you got going on this year?
Who, me?
Will.
Oh.
I just had a clutch of albino tigers that are het for exantic, so kind of working on my one of my main projects right now with that.
Those are
and
nice.
then I have hopefully have some pieds maybe coming. Then I had a leopard inchy boy go to a cinnamon inchy girl, so I'm hoping that maybe I'll get something out of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I do have an albino mahogany that I'm putting with the cinnamon mahogany, so I'm trying to get the Suma cinnamon head albino from that. So that's just kind of all I'm really got going on. But yeah, just the one clutch so far, maybe two more clutches, hopefully.
Yep, same here.
Nice.
I see it work better when you have different different species, because so you're not just focused on the ball pythons and like, yo, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like,
right.
So I might just, pick up something else, probably get like some crested geckos or something like that.
Oh yeah.
I do a little bit of that on the
one
side
more
too.
thing to distract you from everything else, right?
Right.
Crested geckos are pretty cool, man. Like that. So I'm gonna do a little bit of burn breeding, but my main focus will really be like the ball pythons. I want to get back into the boa game again, and then crested geckos and a little bit of like some bearded dragons. Like I like that red monster. Those are pretty nice.
Yeah. Well, what kind of boas you was thinking about getting into?
Kind of still looking. I'd like to do some of the gosh, man, I'm trying to think of some of the genes. It's been so long.
Like some IMG,
like the IMG, like an albino, like a hypo.
Greg?
What's up?
What's going
What
on?
up, Greg?
How's everybody?
What's up, Greg? How you doing?
It's been a week, brother. As a matter of fact, it's been a rough 3 weeks. Starting to look better here.
Good.
As long as it get better, it can always be worse.
Yep.
Facts.
It can always be worse. So
Facts.
I always try to think of that when shit's going pretty rough for me. I'm like, well, this could happen or that. So
yeah,
just be happy.
Yeah, it doesn't always sink in, though. Depends on
no, it doesn't. Sometimes it's hard.
Hell yeah.
But yeah. What about you, John? What y'all got going on over that way this year?
Well, only one in the incubator right now, but Jamie's going nuts with those leopard geckos. She's had, God, eight hatch already. I think she's got another 10 in the incubator. So,
dope.
Yeah, yesterday we had some company over, and she's watching the little hatch camera all the time, and she starts seeing the one kind of stack its way out, so she runs down there, and little albino crawls out. But this came from a unknown pair, they both look like just classics, normals, whatever. There's nothing really odd to them, but that pairing, for whatever reason, must have both had Tremper. We're guessing it's Tremper albino on both sides. But so she got a pair of those yesterday, which is kind of cool. Wasn't expecting that for sure.
Right.
Hell yeah. Congrats, Jamie.
Yep.
Yeah. So we're just doing way less clutches. We did 18 clutches last year. I think we're going to probably try to do maybe 12 this year, kind of cut down to like for sure visuals. You know, we got 2 puzzle pairings going, some Xanthic clowns going, a bunch of lace stuff. We got lace going into puzzle too. So
Nice.
I think a lot of my stuff like rolling over to like the late, well, for next season, honestly. Like our growing up females right now, they probably at 900. So it's rolling into like next year breeding season, like around maybe October, November.
Yep.
yeah,
You're probably gonna drop in, December or January. So
Nice.
right.
I'm making some heads. I'm breeding a inchy puzzle, pos head. Well, I'm sure it is head hypo to a asphalt blackhead, so I can make some super blackhead, super asphalt puzzles for like 2026 or 2027.
And those will be het hypo or
Yeah, I'm pretty sure those be head hypo. And then I have I think maybe 1,000 or 1,100 gram double head puzzle hypo female that I'm gonna breed to that same inchy head hypo male and what it is, and make some puzzle hypos, some inchy puzzle hypos.
nice.
Nice.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I won't be. So I might have. Last year I was supposed to have a couple clutches. That didn't happen. And so the 2 females that were supposed to lay last year, one laid like a month ago. She had three duds, and then 3 eggs were good. But then when I checked them, there was no veins. 2 went bad, so I threw them out. I got 1. And then the other female, she's probably going to be laying here in about a month. She just shed, so like 30 days I'll probably have her clutch. And then, but everything else is all going to be like October I'll start breeding. I've got
Exactly.
So I got my ultra male het pied 66 double het hypo clown male from Aussie. That's going to go with my triple het hypo pied clown girl. So hopefully I'll hit the visual hypo pied clown, and then they'll all be het ultra male. I've got
hypo clown.
Oh, I got another girl that could go with him. She's het pied. She's triple het for hypo pied ultra male, so I could hit ultra male hypo pieds on that side. And then I've got my super pastel, super vanilla GHI, either asphalt or yellow belly female. She was going to go with my banana yellow belly orange dream boy, but I think she might be yellow belly. So at that point, I'll probably put my scrambler orange dream hypo with her.
Hell yeah.
And then I got a couple other females that I'm going to be putting the scrambler with too. So.
Hell yeah.
And then
the scrambler's het pied, right?
Oh yeah, he's het pied.
Yeah.
He's 66, but you've seen he's got those tracks, so I'm sure he'll probably hit.
Yeah. He looks like it. Yep.
I forgot I got some clown stuff too. I got a honey mahogany clown. Gonna go to my red stripe Batman female.
Nice.
Like to see some honey mahogany and stuff.
What's that look like? You got that around you?
I got
honey mahogany right here.
I see that one.
I love that red stripe.
The only honey I've got is in my HRA, and it just takes that girl to a new level.
Only honey I got comes in little packets, and I got to use them later. So
I'm gonna test it for Cypress as well. I'm gonna test it for Cypress.
Do that.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man.
It's nice and clean.
Yeah,
it is.
And the female, she in shed right now.
That's good looking. It's an animal, man. That's good.
That's nice.
Hell yeah.
It look way better in person. Way.
These cameras never do justice.
They always do.
They always look better in person, but yeah, fire.
Yeah, John, I was going to say the only honey I got upstairs, or that I got, is upstairs doing her hair right now.
Yeah, that's a mahogany clown right here.
Oh, shit, nice.
Boy, they look very similar.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Other
he's
one's
got a
just
lot more
slightly
blushing
cleaner,
on the
right?
second one, and the belly's a little brighter.
Mm-hmm.
And I love red stripe, too.
Oh no, well I got the red stripe. And this female, I think she in shed. Right now. Yeah, she in shed. Deep shed.
I'd like to
In
get some
fact-
honey in my red stripe and see what that comes out to be, because I think that'd look amazing too.
And then this one is shed as well. This that dreamsicle, the G-Nex dreamsicle, still look like a little hatchling, but it's pulling through.
Oh yeah.
So the G-Nex gonna blow up the sides.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna blow up those edges. Hold up real quick.
Yeah, it's like a nice 50-50 pie.
Mhm.
So the G-Nex, well, this is a regular dreamsicle. You can see the difference.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I love pies, man.
Yeah.
Same.
Is the
Sucker
G-Nex
for
affecting the
pies.
color too, or is that just the where he's in shed doing that, row?
Oh yeah, yeah. We're gonna make some making some Mandarin sunsets.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
there you go.
There go a sunset right there. This female. So hopefully gonna make some Mandarin sunsets. I think she like around maybe 800 grams. So I'm just waiting just a little bit so I get a male.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see what that looks like.
I should be about ready to go the end of this year, too.
This that pot female. She almost, I think she gonna go this year for sure. It's that. So pie double head lab hypo.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she got a little
Oh, I like
paradox
that.
on her
Little
right there.
paradox there, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah. So hopefully she goes like within the next 2 months, man.
That's a good looking girl. She looks healthy, man.
Yep.
Nice thick tail on.
It's that calico Lira. What's up, little girl? Calico Lira. From Mark Hager.
That's a beautiful snake.
Hold up.
Who says you can't handle a green tree?
Right?
You can for sure.
That's crazy.
Yeah, she getting a little bit more bluer.
Oh yeah. Beautiful. Man.
I was so upset in the 80s when I wanted one and found out that you couldn't hold them. And then I got excited when I found out older that you can hold them.
Oh yeah.
Well, back then everything was probably wild caught, so I guess you probably couldn't hold them back then because they're just
A
little
little more,
assholes.
yeah, aggressive. Didn't get all the asshole bloodline bred out of them.
Right.
Right.
Carpets are the same way when they're young, but they mellow right out. Well, most of them mellow right out. Some of them, but
Let me see if it went up a little bit.
Like Berms, they could be a little nippy as babies, but after that, they're just puppy dogs, man.
10 minutes left in that clown pod head laugh. Still at 395.
Get out of that damn action. Get out of there. Get yourself.
I did that this morning too. Found myself doing it, and I had to close that app real quick, man.
I got a yellow belly clown pie female. I'm a breed. I got a Huffman double head clown pie male to try to make some yellow belly Huffman clown pies.
Nice.
So,
that look good.
yeah, the female like around about 800 grams right now. So
Nice.
Let me go see if my boy's shed or not. Hold on.
Got Mitzi out there. David, good to see you, sir. We got Patrick too, popping in. Good to see Patrick.
Oh man.
Gotta catch these people as they come in. I just keep skipping them,
This is nice
looking
one.
at all the snakes and shit.
Mojave, Corglow, Mojave, red stripe, spot nose, yellow belly clown.
Stay out of there, Ro. Get the fuck out. Close that shit.
Yeah.
Close
it. Got to, man.
Just trying to help you out, man.
Hey, you'll be stuck in there for about 2 hours.
Right.
Yeah, if you're looking for something, it's a good place to find it, right?
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, it's just too damn tempting. I always end up with something. If I start looking, I end up with something every time.
I'm gonna go get me a beer real quick. Yeah, I'll be back.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I went to a show this afternoon, and there were clowns on the table there at $75, man. It's killing me. It's
Yep.
ridiculous.
Like regular clowns.
Yeah, blade clowns, $75.
Hey, bro,
Fire
I would have
clown.
did it.
$100.
I would have did
Killing
it.
me.
If they was female, I would have did it because hey, it's never gonna go out of style. Just like Pod, just like Hypo, DG.
Yeah, for sure. Man, I don't have any more room right now. All my racks are full. I've got animals in the incubator that we've hatched, and we had a couple that started to get a little bit of an RI, so we've been treating them, keeping them in the incubator. But we also don't have the rack space for them right now, so we're shipping 5 out Monday. So then we'll at least be able to get everybody in the hatchling rack and ready to go again.
What's that, man?
This is a Pasto Hypo Huffman Het Rainbow.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah, that rainbow. A lot of people.
That pattern in rainbow would be crazy.
Yeah, a lot of people they scared to work with that rainbow because they don't know how to, differentiate and everything. Especially if you have albino or lab in your collection with rainbow. A lot of people they don't know how to, differentiate.
Separate it out.
Yeah, and then they don't know.
I've seen about rainbows. You got to make sure you put enchi in it.
Yeah, a lot of people they don't know what to put in it. So a lot of rainbows untapped.
I think that's one of the problems with rainbows. If you don't have enchi in it, you end up with losing a lot of the babies.
Is that a male or female? Vance?
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, it was kicked around for a long time. I mean, there was a couple different theories about rainbow and not being fertile.
I would love to work it.
That's a male. My female, she's inchy, so
Nice.
I'll have the inchy in there if that's needed, because that's one of the things that they were saying, like you kind of need that inchy in there, or might not make it. So.
Eric, y'all got to stop changing your logos up so much. I don't know who the hell you are coming in here.
Stay away from my auctions.
What up, Eric? Yeah, hopefully that's the other one I'm trying to get going this year too, is the rainbow. Get that boy up to size, and then the female, she's doing pretty good. I got her up there, so hopefully I could get her going this year too.
Yeah, I'll probably be like a year behind you on that, Vance. I've got some Hypo rainbow stuff growing up that I picked up from Wayne Rivera with Cue Ball Morph recently.
Yeah, you just got that last week, wasn't it?
Yeah. That'll be a fun project.
About Hypo and albino.
In fact, I was gonna send you a picture, but he was in shed, so I couldn't do it when you had those last week, and now that's why I said I gotta go see if he's out of shed or not.
Yeah, those visual rainbows look pretty stunning for sure.
That's why I told you that I could see the rainbow. You could see kind of how bright it is and everything at the bottom of the belly.
Yeah, even with the double heads, you can see there's definitely a head influence on those het rainbow animals.
Yep, for sure.
Got Santos snuck in way back too, and I missed it, guys. So
What's going on,
sorry
Santos?
about that, Santos.
What's up, Santos?
Hope all is well. Yeah, I was gonna. One thing I was curious on is like people's opinions on racks. Like, if you could sit there and like with the ARS or the Freedom Breeder racks or whatever, what's something that you would like in a rack that it doesn't have?
I'll definitely be in on this, but let me feed the dog real quick. You guys have at it. I'll be right
sounds
back.
good.
The little dish holder, the water holder. Like if a reptile, I think it's a Reptile Basics. I think that's where I got these fucking little racks from. Whatever the EV ones. If they would have the tubs with the holders in it, would have made it a lot easier.
Nice.
Where
the water dish is just right there, ready to go.
Yeah. Like, well, you know, because I keep little ceramic bowls in there for their water dish. But if they would have like the tubs when I could just put the little plastic water dish in it, that would have made it better. But can you order those for that particular type of
RO? You know what you can do with that?
What?
You can get pieces of PVC pipe.
Yeah.
And cut the PVC pipe at 1 or 2 inch, however high you want it.
Yeah.
And it will hold it right there for you. And if it does shift around, all you gotta do is take just a little dab of silicone and you know, put maybe a couple dots on it where you want it to stay in the tub, and it'll keep it right there for you.
Yeah, or you can reach out to Will up here, and he could probably 3D print you some deli cup holders like that.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, because I'm in the same boat as you, Ro. I have bowls and different shit, and it's hard trying to get ones that don't tip over and all that. So I bought some I went to the 99-cent store and got like some little square ones, some real thick hard glass ones. But Will, I was gonna have him make me some too, because he does the printing, the 3D printing, and he's got some of those made up.
You know what, Will? What I would like? I would like some 3D printed perches.
Nice.
Like
3D printed perches.
Yeah, like the fit up in let me see.
I've been looking into that too.
So I would like it, because right now this is just a hanger. This is just a hanger. But if you could make the 3D perches and then like make some little rivets or whatever, like go around. I don't know if you've seen like the other little perch from. I think
they're out there. Will, I don't know if you've got the files to do it. I think Angel's doing some of those.
Yeah, he does some of that stuff too. Yeah.
So if y'all could do that shit right there, that would make life way easier instead of be cutting shit.
I've been looking into
tubs of those, bro.
Huh?
What type of tubs are those?
These are. Hold on, I can. Damn, where's my tape measure? They like, I think 16 quart. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, Sterlites.
No, these are from Sea Serpents.
Okay.
16 quart Sea Serpent.
Yeah. So to me, that it would just make it look a little bit better to me, you know.
Hey, look at Eric's comment there.
And then it'd be easier to like have them switched out because man.
3D print row some shorts, huh? So one of the things that completely irritates me with both ARS and the Freedom Breeder is you can't pull those lids to clean them. Like I want to pull the lids out of them damn things and clean them. You know what I mean? Like just a thin sheet for a lid, and to be able to pull it out the front, scrub that thing down, and slide it back in.
So
that'd be way better.
Are you talking about when you put the? Oh, sorry, Justin was putting something.
You talking about the tops, John?
Justin, I'm trying to add you to the stage, but
which rack system you have? Because the one that we have, it has those plastic clips on the front, and you can just pop those clips off the front, and it'll slide right out, and you can wipe them right down.
Is yours a Freedom Breeder?
Yeah.
Hey, Justin.
Ah, okay. We got ARS, and you can't pull them out.
Okay.
The lids that do not come out of those.
Yeah.
Okay.
Justin,
I find it easy to clean them with like a duster, and like you put the the attachment on the wand on the vacuum cleaner, and you can get in there pretty decent. But
Yeah, my
If
concern
you're
is
pulling
like,
tubs, you might as well do 3 at a time, and then just you have to wipe everything down real good, you know.
right, they're so deep, right? So we got the 5540s, and those things are 34 inches to the back. So you got to
Yeah.
have like something on the end of a stick. But my concern is like if you get a snake that say you got one out of the 40 tubs that's got an RI,
Hold up.
you want to be able to pull that tub, bleach the tub, clean everything, get it in the incubator, get it through its RI, but scrub that lid and everything in there. You know what I mean? Like really well. And you can't get at the stuff. It's like you got to pull the whole rack out, go in from the back. I mean, it seems ridiculous, you know, when it could just slide out of there.
Advance, just a heads up. I'm just letting y'all know. I know y'all told me stay off, but Vance, I found something for you. It's a rainbow head ghost male on the auction right now.
What is it?
It's a rainbow head ghost male on the auction right now. It's on the auction right now for $255. It got about 24 hours left. Yeah.
Damn.
Get off the damn auctions. Close the damn app. Delete it from your phone. Don't look at it no more. No, I was adding the commercial for you on the background. That's what I was trying to do. I'm still eating dinner and getting the grill because I still got to put out on the grill and stuff before.
Yeah, I kept trying to pop you onto there, but it I don't know, it was booting you or something, kicking you off.
I was kicking myself off because I was just trying to download the commercial for you.
I got you.
So the commercial is there for you guys. So the commercial is definitely there for 20.
All right, whatever. Get out of here. This fucking guy.
Right on. Thanks, Justin.
You already know. And what's up, everybody on the panel? Everybody in the chat? How you guys doing, bro? It's good seeing
the new shed and stuff. It's good.
I'm loving it. You see, I'm in it. It's nice. I'm loving it.
Hell yeah,
for sure.
That shit got built fast too.
Oh, I wasn't playing. Me and my brother were out here getting it from sun up to sundown, bro. We're just getting it. So
nice.
But hope everybody has a great weekend. I gotta get some shit done for the old lady starts yelling at me. I got a crazy in the house, so y'all date a Cuban, you know how that is.
Right on, Justin.
Good day.
Appreciate it, brother. Thanks.
Have a great weekend.
Absolutely.
I'll run this commercial here in a second. The reason I was asking everyone though is because I was going to start doing some building some racks actually next year. So I was trying to get input of what people liked and all that, what they didn't like, and what could be improved or something done that they added on. We'll get to that in a second. I'm gonna go ahead and run this commercial real quick though.
Gotcha.
Vision Products has developed the slotted stainless steel Versa Rack, the best rack at the best price. The slotted stainless steel Versa Rack allows you to place multiple overhead light and heat sources above your breeding tubs. Couple this with optional Vision heat cables to also provide an underbelly heat source. Each pin of the rack design, making it modular, affordable, and easy to assemble. This design avoids expensive welding, yet maintains rigid strength and durability. Countless hours of design and prototyping led to the perfect end plate design to make the rack strong, easy to assemble, and keep manufacturing and shipping costs low.
Oh yeah! Shout out to the sponsor, Vision.
There's some nice racks.
They are really nice. I got to get me one ordered in here pretty soon.
One thing I would like to see, like in a rack, is versatility, right? Or like make it modular so you can use different tubs from like hatchlings all the way up to adults, but like maybe keep it 2-3 wide, similar to this, but make it lighter weight out of aluminum and save weight where you can, maybe add like a pull-out table.
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth, Mark, because that was one thing when we were looking for ours. The one thing that made the most difference in who we went with was versatility. and that's why we went with the Freedom Breeder, because with the rack we have the ability to change out the brackets to put different tub sizes in there. All we got to do is pop out a couple rivets and replace those if we need.
Yeah.
And the pull-out table on it is clutch, because that we use that thing all the time.
Yeah, that's one thing. Like Ro was saying, the water dish being in there, I think that's a big A plus to have that
definitely
into the tub already.
Yeah, having the belly cup holders or.
Yeah, that makes a big difference, because those snakes really do flip those a lot and everything, and makes a mess.
Then also like put like some ventilation holes in the back of a tub too, so it keep the fog from in the front of the tub build up. When y'all walk in there like some mornings and that fog build up in the front of the tub and then it's all wet and all right there. If you put like some holes in the back of the tub, it vent out that I guess.
Oh, so you get the cross flow in there. Yeah. So depending on where you are, though, you may not want those. I mean, if you're in an area that you're struggling with your humidity, you may not want those. In there like that. So again,
the PVC material is definitely better for keeping humidity in, as opposed to like the ARS setups. So depending upon where you are, like you might want to have like sides to the rack itself too. So like maybe a real thin sheet metal, or you're going to be working with aluminum, or
Yeah, and like you guys said, that's because that's one of the things that I wanted to do, and I actually, to be honest with you, didn't know that at first. I wanted to, because it's too expensive for me to sit here and spend thousands of dollars on Freedom Breeder and things. I mean, 10,000 for a huge rack. So I was like, well, I'll just do my own. And I wanted to do something that was lightweight. And so I was going to do the aluminum and TIG weld it, but I didn't know that they didn't actually, a lot of places didn't do that for a while. That they all just use a heavier metal. I don't know exactly what they're using, if it's just regular steel or what. But,
so you're going to use metal?
Yeah, I want to use aluminum.
So I would recommend you speak to Jordan from All in Reptiles, because he worked with a lot of metal and all that stuff. I'm getting my enclosures from him. So with this, was it Maximum? Was it Maximum Reptiles or whatever? I'm keeping that, but everything else I'm going with Jordan. I'm switching out the what this is, sea serpents for the chondros. I'm going with Jordan. Everything for the chondros, I'm going with Jordan. And for my berms, hopefully I might get like 2 more berms or something like that. I'm going with Jordan. So I would advise you to talk to him.
Nice. Heck yeah.
And then he have a machine too. So,
oh, sweet.
Yeah.
CNC machine.
I'm not sure. We talk like everything.
They got, that's what, when I go, because I went to school for welding already and got my certification and everything, but I wanted to go back for TIG welding and to learn how to run the lathe and the CNC machine and all that. So that's like one of the things. I'll be at that school, and the instructor, I like him. He's a really cool guy. So I wanted to do a lot of the snake racks while I'm there and stuff, just start knocking that stuff out. Because I'll have, like I said, I'll have access to the CNC machine. So if I need to drill holes in the metal or anything, like, do all that. So, and then like anything that needs to be fabricated, like, so I was talking like
doing nothing for. I would say, it'd be like cool. Y'all do a little partnership together. Like you do it for the ball pythons, and then he'll do it for the chondros and stuff. And hey, that could be a partnership, honestly.
Right. Oh yeah.
It's always good to collaborate with people, right?
It is.
Yeah, I'm just saying that
you progress. That's for
that'll
sure.
be dope, because he know a lot of ball python breeders, but he don't mainly make enclosures for ball python breeders. He mostly make it for berms and retics, and he just started chondros, so it'd be dope. It like he very open to it too. So
sweet. Yeah. That's good to know, though. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, I was talking with the guys the other day, kind of trying to figure some of this stuff out and go over things, and like that was one of the things too, is making like so to where you could basically pull the tub out. It had like a cover on top of it,
Gotcha.
and you're able just to grab it and kind of just tilt it off that rack and pull it out each spot. And then it actually had a cover on top of it, and I was like, trying to think, would that be something that you need?
I've seen tubs like that somewhere before where they had like a mesh topping on them, like a mesh lid that was hinged like halfway in so that you could lift one end of it up to get into it. But if you wanted to pull the whole tub out and set it down, you could do that. I don't
Pack
remember.
racks.
Maybe that's what it is.
Pack Racks has a modular system that's pretty cool.
Okay.
I think they do have that split lid too on their tubs that
It might,
you know,
in
you
fact,
take it
it
out
might
and-
have been you, Mark. That I think you sent it to me the other day.
Yeah, that's Pack Racks.
Yeah,
I just wish
they-
that
I like it because they're modular, but then they have like the really deep sea 6-quart tubs for, you know, hatchlings, as opposed to like a 3.5-inch tub. You can get the deeper 6-inch tub.
Yeah, we looked at those in Daytona a couple years ago when we were down there.
Yeah.
You, Matt.
That's some pretty cool ingenuity in that, you know.
it is. That was a lot of thinking. I was like, man, is that something that people would really need to use? I mean, I know some people would, but how many?
Oh,
And then I was
would
like, I was thinking about it, and I was like, actually, that would be a good idea. If you wanted to clean your whole rack, you could sit there and pull all those out, and especially if you could stack some of them. But either way, you could pull them out and wipe your rack down, you know, and do what you needed.
and I would say this: create an opening in the front of the tub. Are y'all making tubs too, or just?
I'm trying to. What I'm going to probably do is just make the rack. I'm going to work around whoever has them.
Okay, never mind that.
Yeah.
Whoever has tubs. So.
I would say try to make it modular, you know, like so you can at least put different tubs in the rack, or have like a system where you can slide in a shelf and say it's going to fit these 3 slide-in tubs, or you can put another one in that's going to fit in 2, or one big, you know, like.
I agree, Mark. That's a really good idea, and that's one of the things I was.
That way, it's like somebody's collection grows. You know, they'll have the option to transfer from tub to tub.
Exactly.
We need somebody to make some tubs, because like I seen on this gecko tub, you just put the little, like they had a little water little thing or whatnot, and they put the nozzle in front of the tub. It's like a little opening, and they just, you know, just sprayed mist the tub like that instead of open the whole fucking tub.
Yeah, the problem with that is the tubs are the most expensive part of the whole operation, because in order to get the molds done, and I talked to the guy with Pack Rats about it, you know, just the molds for those tubs he was having done were, you know, $250,000 a piece to get them done, to get them designed.
Or the mold. Yep.
Yeah. That's why I'm saying, like, if you can find tubs that are compatible, right, or a certain size, and you create the rack so big, that's probably the best way to go about trying to do it. And then it's just a matter of how you're going to secure the tubs so they don't fall.
Exactly.
Or you could put your rails for the tubs, like on the Freedom Breeders and ARS, you could have a sleeve that went across that front bar that would just slide, and you could lock that sleeve in different widths. You know, so like if you got a 5-inch wide tub, you slide it over, lock it in, put your tub in, set another one next to it. You can make them literally any width you wanted across the whole length of the bar, you know. Be a fairly simple little device with just a twist lock, you know.
Right.
Yeah. Pre-drill the holes in the right spots on the top of your rail so that you slide it over to one of those spots and drop your pin in. It's there. It's not going anywhere.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. That would be pretty cool.
Be sweet. Yeah, you could do, you know, the 5540s with the 1030s. You could do any of the different arrangements all in the same row.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it would be cool to sit there and have some tubs made up, but that's just the easiest thing is just to go from tubs that they have.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just got to find a tub manufacturer that you like, and sizes that would work for what you want to build, and then go from there.
Yeah.
And since you working with aluminum, I'm just saying this. You can basically have you can make a fold up, rack space. Like it can stand straight. And then y'all seen the little thing with the little leverage, and then it just stack like a foldable ladder kind of.
Right.
So it's just like that.
That would be cool.
And I think that would be way better, because then you can fucking stack maybe six
shelf system.
6 racks in a little corner or something like that. Like when you move into something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
And I wanted to sit there too and make it like, I was even thinking with the racks, making it to where you can stack them. So not making like a permanent, like, yeah, there will be things that are welded, but each section can basically just sit on top of the other one. Kind of, I think like Freedom Breeder does the same thing, where you got the male and female that just slips right on top. So I would like something like that. I think would be pretty cool. And then I think Mark was mentioning it, and that's the other thing that I wanted to do was I want to make it, because like, for example, I don't own my house. So I want to be able to sit there if I have to and be able to hopefully roll that out of the door without having to take stuff apart.
Right out a standard size door. So go like 6 feet tall, and should be good.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to, and then like I was thinking about doing like a what the hell do you call it? The Billy made some of them, the guard for the front of it, taking the piece of sheet metal.
I'm trying to fucking find
kick plate?
The kick guard.
Kick plate, yeah. Put a kick plate on there. I think that would be pretty cool too.
I did like what Mark mentioned earlier,
just seeing
though.
a nice aluminum welded rack with TIG welds is going to be sweet anyway. You throw it, like, you clear coat it, and it's going to look great regardless.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's still going to have to be modular, though, because you're going to have to do, at least, if not a single rack, a double rack layer at a time, because you still got to make it small enough that it can be taken in and out of doors.
Yep.
Yeah, if you're welding it,
you're going to sell it. I guess if it's just for you and you're not looking at sales, I mean, I would personally make it all out of stuff you can get all like 24 bars, 24 side channels, and you just put it together on. I mean, it comes completely apart. In my opinion, I hate when shit is riveted together. You got to cut rivets, drill shit out.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Trust me, you never know when you're going to have to move. Just saying.
Right.
Exactly.
I know. I do not want to deal with that. But that's why I do like the ARS, because the one thing you've got is a full frame. And that's as big as you got to think about is that frame. Like once you pull that apart, it's all in pieces, Takes you some time, but at least you can get it in and out in manageable sizes,
How do the ARS racks go together, John? I'm not familiar with those, but see,
well, Mark knows too. But
plastic.
Yeah, let's look at his. So we'll put Mark up there because you can kind of see it on his, but like at these corners, like everywhere those corners come together is a plastic, like a 3-way.
Oh,
okay.
You know what I mean? And all those bars snap into that at each corner, but once it's together, it physically can't go anywhere, but it can all be taken apart.
Okay.
You know what I mean? There's no.
So it's not that different than the Freedom Breeder style then.
The design is exactly the same. It's just that it's components.
Okay.
One piece, then you got like the little plastic pieces that hold it all together.
Right.
And then you're drilling in the top panels. So each panel there's 3 on this one. So then there's like 3 little drop-in panels, and they have like the humidity holes and stuff in there.
Okay. Yeah,
so when you order those,
they take some time to put together. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when you order those, they basically come on a skid, and all of your like front bars are all packed together, all the front bars. So you got like 26 of those. And then you got a little pack of all the side bars, right? So those are all the same length. They're all bound together, laid down in their flat. And you get a stack of the lids. You get a stack of the tubs. You get a stack of the rails, you know, that the tubs slide in. All of that stuff kind of snaps into place, but it's all loose and packable. Otherwise, you'd never be able to ship that stuff. I mean, it'd be enormous.
It's getting shipped out on a pallet regardless of what you get, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's one other thing I guess you would have to think of is like shipping, right? Like the flatter the box you can get, the better off you're going to be. You know, you could probably do some flat rate shipping, but it would. And aluminum is light too. That's the nice thing about working with aluminum.
Exactly.
It is until you start piling it on top of itself, and then it adds up quickly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
And I don't know, what would you guys do? Would you still prefer like heat tape or something on the back?
I think heat tape is probably your most versatile heat source because you can get it anywhere. No matter where you are in the world, you can find it. And it's not something that's going to be proprietary. You can, go and pick that up from wherever and not have to worry about having a specific brand. Whereas if you were to go with like a cable or something, then you have to be a little more particular about the diameter of the cables and whether or not it, is going to get too hot for where you're trying to put it.
Right.
I mean, it's like, with ours, if we have a section, the one thing I like about the Freedom Breeders is every layer is wired separately. So if I have a section go out, all I have to do is flip that over, rip that insulation off of it, pull the tape, replace the tape, and slap it back together. It's a 10-minute job, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's not one continuous cord through the entire thing that you got to.
Right. I've seen some racks that were, man. That, oh my god, it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you had to replace, if the cord went out, you'd have to replace the whole cord, right?
Yeah. I mean, face it, the tape is not designed to last forever. I think it's got a 5-year life on it. So we should be replacing our tape in all of our racks every 5 years or so, per the manufacturer's suggestions. Does everybody do that? No, that's why we have so many fires that come up, because people just, they don't inspect it. They don't make sure that it's, doesn't have any nicks or burrs in it. And it
What's up, Fred?
What's going on, Fred?
What up, Fred? And then would you want a closed off rack? You want it open or closed, like on the back and the sides?
Oh, closed. Closed.
All the way around?
Yeah. To keep that.
3 sides.
Well, again, that's something that you can make optional if you're planning on selling to, depending on who you're selling to. If you're selling to someone like Justin in Florida, they're not going to need the closed rack.
Yeah.
Versus someone like John, who's up in the northern end of the country, they would need the closed rack to help to seal the heat in a little better.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe cut some ventilation in towards the top so the top can breathe a little bit more too.
Right.
What's up, Ken?
What's going on? Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Pretty good.
I wanted to see everybody's opinion on that, because it really does. It really depends on where you live and everything, how much heat you have and humidity and all that. To where do you want it to open, or do you want it closed? So I think that would be a good option to leave it to where you could have it completely open, or you could do completely closed, or you could even do
And
have it as an option.
To Mark's point, that's where your versatility comes into play, because you can't make one rack system that's going to please everybody. So you have to be able to have the options in there that individuals will need based upon where they are and what they're breeding.
Right.
So would you have an option of sliding or shelf?
That's like a slide, so to where you could have different bins.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's one thing. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I would really love to do that. I'm trying to, if there's a way, I know there is, but just figuring out the way of sitting there doing that. And like I said, I have a lot of options. He has a CNC machine and so much stuff. So I mean, I can make pretty much probably almost anything I wanted in there, you know?
So the one that we have, the Freedom Breeder, the bars are pre-drilled for every size of tub that rack system will hold. So it's pre-drilled where you know the cross beams are molded or injection molded plastic. I think is what they are. That go from front to back, so you can slide those in or out as you need to accommodate wider or more narrow tubs. Right. So you can make it similar to that, where you just have those holes pre-drilled, and you can either do it by way of like a cotter pin system, or like they do, it's simple with just a pop rivet.
Yeah, I'd like to see that what you're talking about. I mean, I pretty much know. I would just like to see it to even be able to really go okay. But yeah, I know what you're saying.
Well, when we go to move, when I break that thing down, remind me, and I'll get some in-depth pictures of that as I take it apart, so you can really see how that works out.
Nice. Heck yeah.
I don't know what kind of patents they have on that kind of stuff, whereas you might run into some issue with trying to sell them, but if you're trying to make it for yourself, then you can do whatever you want to.
Right. Yeah.
That's the thing, Vance. It's like, do you plan on building this rack yourself, or do you plan on producing this and selling it as like a system?
If everything works out good, I wouldn't mind selling it as a system to people.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all, I'm about to get ready to dip out. I gotta go spend some time with the wifey.
Right on.
Later, Ro. Good to see you, buddy.
Thank you for your service, sir, and you have a good Memorial Week.
All right, then. Hey,
have a great weekend.
I'll see y'all later on tonight's show.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Peace.
If you guys see me raise my right hand like this, I'm not trying to swear or nothing or anything or like ask a question. This is just how I tell my camera guy to follow me. That's how you turn it on and off. Just
Who's throwing shit at you over there, Ken?
Dancy over here.
Well, I was just like kind of leaning to show that my camera guy will follow me. Bosa sent me up one of his minions. He's doing pretty well.
Nice.
And I got to communicate with him because he don't understand English. So he understands this means turn off. This means turn on.
So where is it now? Off or on?
It's on. Like I could turn it off just like that. See, like he turned it off. Now, if I move, it don't follow me. But if I raise my hand to let him know, hey, turn it back on, he'll follow me.
I see no difference.
Even stand up.
Yeah. It does. It kind of tracks. It takes a second.
Maybe I'm just not seeing it with the background there.
2000.
Right. He took the
It moves.
Okay, I see now.
Maybe I just wasn't lean enough for you, Greg. I had to get way down.
You look like you're on a ship, man.
I think when I'm showing snakes, yeah, right. Waving back and forth. I think when I'm showing snakes, though, I got to turn it off because I was trying to show a snake the other night and it was all over the place. It wouldn't stay still. It wasn't me moving; it was the camera.
It was looking for your face to focus.
Yeah, it was looking for my face, and I was trying to show a snake, and it was just moving all over the place.
Nice. At least you got your new.
But anyways, just wanted to throw that out there. If you see me raise my hand, I'm not trying to ask a question. I'm not saying, "Hey, me." I'm just no. That didn't mean turn off. Leave it on.
Thought it was a Native American greeting.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to swear in the Bible or anything like that. I mean,
yeah, we were just talking about the racks and everything that I was talking about building, and kind of more of answer Mark's question. I was going to make some for myself, but I wanted to eventually end up selling some. And if any of you guys want to get on that waiting list when I do it, I'll hook you guys up.
Oh,
with a
I'd
free
probably definitely be on
discount.
that list.
Again,
I'd be definitely interested.
Yeah, just
For
get on the
sure.
list just so you
But,
can at least see after it's done what it looks like and all that. And if you like it, snag one up.
Well, already put me on the list. I trust you.
All right.
Put me on the list. But
That's what I told
my
him
2
too.
cents on that, kind of what I'm seeing, like the Vision racks uses the cable heat tape, and it's kind of what I use like outside on my water lines in the winter, and that stuff's durable as hell. You know what I mean? That stuff will last you 10 years before it even blinks about being like, overused or anything.
Right.
Like that heat tape, I don't think it's going to last 10 years. I mean, on my used racks, I've already had to change them out. On the racks that I've built, they're still working, but how long is it going to still work? Now, the one where I used back heat, it was I think it was a 21-inch, sheet. No, not sheet, but roll, where I just rolled it across the back. And I kind of like it better than looping it through, because when you loop it through, like if you do that all the way, you're going to have such a heat differential from the top to the bottom. So I only did it 5 at a time. I did it 5 and then 5. Well, the sections of it where it's kind of upside down, because you can't twist it. So you have right side up, upside down, right side up, upside down. The upside down ones seem to have like a degree temperature lower, because I figure it's upside down, because like this drawer will be at like 90, this drawer will be at like 89, and then this drawer on top of it will be like 90. And the one that's at 89,
it is thicker on one side.
Yeah. So I
tape
think
I use it's thicker on one side. So I don't know if that's extra plastic is supposed to serve as some type of insulation barrier or what. But
yeah. And see, that's one of the things that I've been thinking about, because on my shelf now, like I've got it, how it runs like a snake. But I'm thinking about maybe changing it to when I do mine. I'm thinking about doing like a back heat.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say. Like, what do you guys
like the
think
back
of like
heat.
back heat versus belly heat? I think if you were to do back heat, you're definitely going to want to enclose it more, right? Like a rack.
Yeah.
That way
So-
it retains the heat.
hold it in.
So if you were to do back heat, you would have to run a horizontal barrier at every level to keep that heat from just rising straight to the top and bypassing all the other tubs. You know what I mean? You'd have to have it, like if you consider like a sea serpent rack where you've got the different levels. At each level, there's the floor, which is, or the top, whatever one you want to look at, which is a horizontal barrier, which then traps that heat and prevents it from going further up into the next level. So if you were to do that on,
when I built my melamine racks,
I don't.
when
I
I
don't
build a
know
lot
that-
of melamine, there's an individual slot, so it kind of holds it in.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
Yeah. The other issue with the back heat is always like you've got to run that. In my opinion, you got to run that like 6 to 7 degrees hotter to get into that tub.
Yeah.
As opposed to belly heat. Belly heat transfers straight up into the tub, where that back heat's got to kind of work its way through the lip and all that space behind the tub. It's got to be considerably warmer the whole time.
I got mine set at 105.
And I was gonna say
that's what I
crazy.
that's what I do like about
to
like
hit
the
90
ARS
back.
heat panels. Is they're pretty simple. They have the heat strip. You can get it in 5, 6, 8 inches or whatever, right?
Yep.
And then there's like a little piece of aluminum that goes over the top of it that helps insulate it and keeps in that heat. And then on the bottom side, it's just like it's like a thermal barrier, like a HVAC type thermal barrier that helps hold in that heat. And it's easily replaceable. Like Ken said, if you had one go bad or Greg, you can pull off that bottom and swap it out real quick.
Yeah.
Well, and the other upside to that system is you're taking a piece of heat tape, you're putting it face up on a piece of metal, so you're not going to get those uneven hot spots like it just
No,
the
you're
tape.
going to have that heat
Like
transfer.
yeah, the metal itself is going to all get to a temp, and it's going to be much more even and level. Where if you just got the heat tape, you could have a 6-inch section that's 3 degrees hotter than the next 6 inches, you know?
Right.
And that's rough on things when you get those weird curves and hot spots. If you want that all nice and even and as close to the temp as you can get it. Like I don't like running that stuff at 106, 108, you know, to get my tubs up to temp. That's
I was gonna
shit
say,
out
what
of
do
me,
you typically run your tubs at, John?
my tubs in the back. I mean, to be honest, in the male racks, I'm probably capped at like
And another
87. I don't
And another one.
I don't go too hot in my male tubs, and most of the time it's probably going to be closer to 86 or 5. It fluctuates a little. We keep ambient in that room at like 79 on the nuts. So we, you know, we still have that issue because we're in a basement, so you're on concrete, but we went in with some real thin carpet and put that down like an indoor-outdoor carpet to keep some of that radiant from the concrete from being as problematic, but it's still cooler on the bottom levels than the top, obviously. But yeah, we got to run our thermostats at like 94, 93 to get to that 88, you know. But if we're looking at back heat, like some of Jamie's gecko tubs, those things are up around 108, 110 to get the backs of her tubs at 93.
So they're running quite a bit hotter to get the temps.
Yeah.
And the thing is that stuff's only designed to run at 105. Most of your manufacturers will tell you not to run it above 105. Now, will it be stable at temperatures above 105? I'm going to say yes, because most people probably run it above that anyway. You know, so they save themselves from a little bit of litigation that way. But I do know that once you get up to 110, it begins to get dangerous at that point.
Absolutely. It just worries me. I'm down there. I'll wake up at 2 a.m. and go, is that heat tape too hot down there? And I'm all the way down and like for no reason. Do you know what I mean? And run down, check the snake room, temp everything. That stuff makes me nervous. It really does, man. Because you need one malfunction for 2 hours and you got a massive problem, you know?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I was in there and I seen my herp stat the other day. Like normally it's at like, I think about 70 something. 75, and I seen it climbing up, and it was going up to like 82, 85, and I'm like, what is going on? And it's kind of freaking me out. And it's like, okay, I know I opened the window, like maybe that's it, but it's still like, man, I'm in here checking, like, please.
Yeah. One thing you can do for that, I know we talked to KG one time about it, and KG, what he started doing was we run a lot of the Inkbird thermostats. They have 2 channels on them. I mean, I love those things. You can check them on your phone.
They're decent thermostats for sure.
John, to your point, in the middle of the night, you wake up and you wonder what your temps are. You grab your phone and you can look and tell instantly. So what KG started to do was push notification. I'm sorry?
Yeah, like their Wi-Fi.
Yeah. So what he started to do, rather than running just one thermostat on an entire rack, because what most people do is they run that one thermostat to a power block, and then that power block distributes to the rest of the rack, right? So it's almost the only way that you can change the temps in between the individual racks is by changing what order you plug them in on that strip. So the ones that are running cooler, you might want to put them closer to the end of the power source to get them a little more voltage. So with the Inkbirds, you know, you can buy 5 of those thermostats for $100 to $150, depending on, you know, what the sales are at the time.
Nice.
Each one of those has 2 probes on it. So you can now control 10 levels individually, you know, for less than what you would spend on a herpstat, and, you know, control the temps that way. It's not
That's why
terrible.
it's always good to have everybody get together and brainstorm these ideas and help Vance out, you know, with the smarter, cheaper way to do it, and hopefully you'll be successful at it, you know, Vance. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm all with everything you guys are saying is helping out. I mean, I'm even trying to think like it'd be neat, like if I could sit there and do something to where if you want to do heat tape where you roll it, snake it through, that's fine. But it'd be neat to have it where you could do like on the back panel, but set it on the inside instead of the outside, because it's going to have to be turned up more. And to where you could set, like, it'll be a sheet that you set up there, but to where it could attach pretty easy, rather be with pins or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could probably just create brackets on the top side and just hang it, right?
Mhm.
And then have it sit flush against the back side.
Right. And even like, I wanted to maybe, if I could add something, I don't know, maybe like a deal where you could add accessories or something. Like, I know you guys were even talking about having the little table on there, but if you could have like something that mounted up to, or put your, I don't know, heat gun or whatever, you know what I mean? It's certain things that can maybe be hung
LED
up on
light
the
strips
side.
would be fantastic. For those old fuckers like myself who can't
That
see
can't
into
see a
the
goddamn thing back there. Yes, I know what you're saying. Get a
You know,
floodlight on the back of your rack so you can see what the hell you're doing
yeah,
back there.
in my snake room, I try to go in there and not disturb the entire room by flipping on the light switch in the room. So if I want to pull a tub and look in just that tub, just a single little LED nit in there so you could see in there. Also, you might be able to use the UV ones where the animals would get the benefit of the UV light in the tub.
Right.
Not all species require it, but it's been shown that some species benefit from it. So, again, it's an option that you can look at, and that those things are relatively inexpensive to do.
Right. That would be a good idea. I mean, even with the ball pythons, like I still try to pull them out and get them out in the sun and get a little light here and there. I mean,
yeah.
So that would be awesome, like you said, because I mean, I do that all the time. I'll sit there and go in the reptile room, and it's like you're just trying to check on one little thing, and it's like I've got to sit there and turn on that light and disturb everybody for that one little thing that you're trying to check on.
Right.
That
I'm sure you
awesome.
guys experience. You flip that light on, and they think it's feed time, and everybody's up in the tub, and you can see the noses going back and forth at the top of the tub.
Yeah. And then my gecko's over here because it's nighttime popped out, and I turn it on, and she's like, "What the hell? I'm ready to jump back and hide again."
Yeah, Will just mentioned one I hadn't seen before.
Yeah, I'm looking that up as we speak.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, I use the Luxembourg ones. I don't know if they're like a sister company of the Inkbird, but they have the double thermostats and like, the two thermostats like the Inkbird ones. And I can also look at the app on my phone and stuff. So I don't know if it's the same company, just maybe an overseas name for it or something. But that's the ones I've been using.
Those Pioneers that Will's talking about, that's one of those that they've burned down the same assembly line but put a different name to them wherever they're going. I've used 3 of those thermostats since we've been keeping snakes. All 3 of them have failed on both sides. And failed in the on positions. Those scare the hell out of me, I'll be honest. I did not appreciate those. But if he's had good luck with them, good for him. They absolutely did not work for me. I had 3 of them go bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris has a point here, but I'll tell a story about this because this freaked me out, and I've never gone back to this because, and a heads up, this could be completely freakish, right? But we have thunderstorms up here all the time. I work in a small town, not rural, but it's still on shitty grid, like the power coming in here is always flickering on off, but it does that hard down and hard back on like within a second, those brownouts you get.
Yeah.
And I went downstairs, and it was on a Herpstat. It was a Herpstat 2. Downstairs 5 minutes after that brownout, every other thermostat in that room was reading right, and that thing was at 145 degrees.
Damn.
And I went, that can't be right. I thought it was like 14.5, and I'm looking, I'm going, it's 145. So I yank every tub out of that rack. I set them down on the carpet. I gun the back of the rack, and sure as shit, 145 degrees. So it does not fail in the on or off position. I'll tell you that right now. That thing was reading accurate. It said 145 degrees and it did not shut off. So I don't know what part of that circuit fried when that power went down and back up, but it didn't do what it was supposed to. And I came up panicked to Jamie. I'm like, I need a hand down here because I got open tubs. There's 32 tubs laying on the ground with snakes everywhere. You know what I mean? I'm like, come down here and at least keep an eye on them, keep their heads in the tubs so they're not all over the goddamn snake room. But so I had to pull it all apart, grab one of my cheaper ones for the time being, throw it on there just to get it back down. I had a fan blowing inside the rack, trying to blow that heat out of there as quick as possible. You know what I mean? Disperse it through the room. But I'm not even shitting, 145 degrees. I was like, that's cooked chicken in 20 minutes. You know what I mean? Like that was horrifying. And that was a Herpstat too. So I don't trust any of that shit. I just don't. I check all that shit.
At times, if you're not better to put it on like the battery backup systems, like you put your computer on to protect them from that.
I definitely think that's a smart idea, but do that with, 7 racks in a whole room that's drawing 15 amps. Like, where do you find that other than a commercial grade at, $2,800? I can't drop on a backup,
Right.
For a single plug-in or something, or 2 racks, maybe you could probably power that for some time, but your standard battery backup is not going to help you with a whole room full of 12 racks and incubator fans. You know what I mean? There's just too much draw there, but
we get some pretty heavy winds up here in the Pacific Northwest. So, like if we do lose power, like the most, I lost power like 3 weeks ago for like 2 hours during the night. But like when the power kicks on, like you said, John, it kicks on pretty hard and fast, and it might flutter a little bit. So I always go and check, like if the power's out, I'll just go hit the surge protectors. Like if I'm awake, right? I'll turn the surge protectors off for the Herpstats, and then when the power comes on, I'll just go turn on the surge protector myself, and typically, try to avoid that situation. But I've lost power, and then I have to go back and I have to shoot every single heat panel, just to make sure that it's where it's at.
That it's reading right. And yep. Yeah, I'm a nervous wreck down there. OCD is shit. Like I got every tub pulled out. I'm in there with the gun, hitting every spot on these things. And, dude, that 145 is horrifying.
Oh,
I saw that read.
I'd have been shitting a brick.
Oh yeah, that was not good. But
that's why one thing too, man, that people need to get, they don't understand, and I'm guilty of it. I don't have the money, but still unexcusable. Like there's a certain order you should do shit, and you don't have to, but you should. I would have gotten a generator in the beginning and then started getting my animals.
I definitely need one. We lose power here all the time.
Yeah,
dude,
generator is a must.
We spent $1,000 on one. Never had to use it, thank God. But we have it.
But you have it.
Yeah.
For that time when it does happen.
Yeah.
Because I don't think in this case, I think it's almost fair to say it's not a if, it's when. There's a couple times in life, man, that our power goes out. I remember one time here in California. This was I was 15 at the time, junior or high school. The power, everybody, it was like 117 degrees or some shit. Everybody was running their AC. Boom, power went out. So now everybody's just suffering in the hot summertime. But definitely a must.
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Rain, sunshine, snow, it don't matter.
Especially cold winters, man. That's when it gets scary.
Yep. Definitely.
More scary for some of you than others.
Right. Mm-hmm. That's the plus on our side. I mean, that basement literally would take you almost a week before that drops even into the 50s. It's just so below ground, insulated and everything else. Even at 20 below out, it takes a long time to get cold down there. If that was in our upstairs, I'd be really concerned, but I'd have to be without power I got bigger problems than that if I got no power for a week, up here. Jamie and I are going to fucking die in that shit. You know what I mean? Like, But yeah, I know what you're saying. In these northern climates, if you have a shed or you've got an outdoor building or something that you're keeping these things in, you better have some power. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And every situation is going to be different too, right? People are going to be running mini splits if they're running sheds, or or they might be running heaters, depending upon where everybody's at.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, I typically, like, right now, I think the temperature in my house is like 74, and I think I've got my herp stats set to like 92, and it keeps the hot spot right where it needs to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's going to fluctuate too. When the temps pick up, I'm going to have to. It's always good to have your IR gun and make sure you're up to stuff on husbandry and making sure your temps are right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. In fact,
And
that's what I got to be doing here in a few days is dropping the temperature down because we're going to start hitting 90. So.
Right.
That's one thing that I will say for like the ink birds. And I realize your higher end herp stats, like your herp stat 6, the spider webs and all will have it, but not all of these thermostats out here have the ability to alert you if there's a problem. Like my ink bird the other night on one of my smaller carpet python enclosure, the thermostat had slipped out. I was moving some stuff around and didn't realize it, and the thermostat had pulled out of the tape and had pulled loose. Damn. The only indication that I had of it was when my phone was dinging off, let me know, hey, your temperature's way low, what's going on? So I came in here and checked it, and that's when I found the thermostat had been pulled out. So I've had those save me more than once on minor issues like that could be
nice. Yeah, push notifications are really nice, especially like in an incubator too. Where you want to be on top of that.
See, the incubator, I refuse to run the cheaper thermostats on my incubator because
right,
at any given time you can have thousands in an incubator, waiting on. So I really like the ability to have the pulse voltage control on that because it keeps a much more accurate temp. But I do keep the little gobies in the incubator so I can pull that up at any time and see what the temp is in the incubator.
Right. That's smart.
Sure is.
What up, Justin?
What up?
No, dude.
How you guys doing? No, I was gonna say that's why I actually didn't do a mini split in my building, is because now I could just run my generator and run an extension cord in here and run an extension cord to the shaker unit in the window and run an extension cord to all because I have my racks only plugged up onto like so many plugs in here because I ran a pretty high amperage building. So I could literally just boom, 3 plugs pretty much and everything's running in this bitch.
Nice.
That's why I didn't want it. Like I was almost on the verge of putting a mini split in here, but I was like, man, if the power does go out hurricane season, I go for 4 or 5 days without this some bitch, and it gets hotter than hell here in Florida. I'll be fucked. I'd literally be fucked.
Yeah. My dumbass, I just bought a generator big enough to power the AC units in the house. So if something did go wrong,
come on.
Yeah, I'd like to be able to take a hot shower. I've got a hot water heater, and it runs off electricity and natural gas, right? So when the power goes out, I'm like, oh,
yeah,
that'd be nice.
Right.
You could just switch it back and forth.
Like I said, though, I usually don't lose power too frequently or for very long.
Chris, why are you coming at me over my cheap incubator, man, or my cheap thermostats?
No, that's definitely one thing I had to think about. Just because we do have hurricane seasons and we don't lose power damn near all year, but when hurricane season comes around and a power line goes down and whatnot, it takes them forever to get to us. We're screwed last, more or less.
Yeah, you could probably run that whole shed off like a Honda EU 2000 generator, huh?
That's what I have. I have a suitcase Honda, and I run my whole house off that damn thing. I have my refrigerators plugged up, my TV, my internet, every damn thing. My neighbors are always like, "How the hell?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm chilling."
You don't have to worry about having heat in there too much, do you, Justin?
No, It's more cooling. And I got literally in my attic, I got those little roll around AC plug-in units that has a little hose that comes off. So if the power goes out, I pull that some bitch out of the attic and put it in my living room, and I'm just chilling with my TV on and shit, you know.
Right.
I get everything ran off my Honda suitcase. Those little Honda suitcase things, man, they're great. My mom runs her whole damn RV off that damn thing.
What kind of wattage are those things?
I don't know. I know they're like what? I think I paid like $1,200 or $1,300 for it, but like I said, my mom runs her whole fucking RV off that damn thing.
Yeah, those Hondas run forever too. Or a Generac, the small little
And they're
Generac
quiet. They're not that loud.
Yep.
Yeah, you can do like the power on demand, so like they'll ramp up the RPMs if needed, or they'll just run quiet.
Yeah, I've had mine for like 4 or 5 years now. And I think every time I don't start it all year, but one time, and I'll go out there and pull the cord 2 or 3 times, and fires right up. I don't have to put fresh gas. Well, I'll top it off with fresh gas, but the old gas that sits in there, it still burns it. It's crazy. It's just me out.
I bought one of the dual fuels that runs off of propane as well as
so that's cool.
Nice.
gas. So and the propane will last. Number one, it runs quieter, it burns cleaner, and it lasts longer on the propane.
Yeah, less maintenance on the engine too, because it runs so much more efficiently.
Yeah,
it's cleaner.
It won't put out the same wattage on the propane that it will on the gas.
Because more combustion, so it's going to get more out of it.
Yeah. The gas. I think we'll give it an extra. I think it's like 300 or 400 watts that it will throw out.
So Chris at BNS, he's on the undercard for the UFC tonight. If anybody wants to take him on, just throw in a cheap thermostat in your incubator.
Told him they'll be coming to me for my cheap thermostats.
Right. He's ready to fight. Sorry about that, guys. I had to go catch a cow.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I caught it. So
Nuglarius? What? How?
Yeah, the spotted cows.
That's why. That's wicked.
That's crazy.
Good stuff. Good Wisconsin beer right there.
Some Wisconsin.
There we go. He's donating all proceeds to the USR.
Absolutely. Those undercards, you probably get about $10, Chris.
Was it on Netflix today?
The UFC fight? Yeah, I don't know. I know there's fights tonight. I just don't know where they're going.
I
talked about doing.
Yeah, pretty much. I was putting Chris in that title with the UFC fights.
Heck yeah.
Eric.
Eric's ready to fight. He's going to go swap his good one out for a shitty one.
Yeah. Hope you have like a Govee in there or something at least to protect your ass with that cheap thermostat. Better put some type of thing in there.
So I got lucky on that deal. I didn't have to get Govies or anything. I got Jamie. She's down there staring inside that damn incubator.
Sitting in front of it like
that's how Alex is for real. That's literally how she is.
It's got that.
That was the first thing she said. She's like, the incubator's going to be outside and not inside anymore. I was like, nope. She's like, oh, that's going to suck. And I was like, well, you have to go outside of the building and check them out.
That first year, I had to threaten to put an alarm on the incubator because she was constantly in and out of the damn thing. Like, if you don't leave that damn door closed.
What's nice though is on those Wi-Fi alerts, it's just, hey, come down here.
Yeah,
that's all I get from downstairs. I don't get no beep. I don't get nothing. You know. It's funny.
I had to go outside real quick. My camera followed me around, so it adjusted around. My dog was trying to chase down deer. It happens quite frequently here.
Come on.
You live in the woods, there's deer all around.
Yep.
Nice.
The Amish do pretty good about keeping the population down. I mean, I'd say starting in April, you start hearing all the time, them firing shots off. They're prop damage hunting. They're allowed to get away with it. I don't know what it is, but that thing's loud. I mean, I could tell it's the same person doing it because that thing just it rattles the windows almost. That thing is loud. Sounds like a cannon.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how we always hear black powder. It is. It's like a weird sound compared to your normal rifles. It's like a double echo. It's like boom.
That's what I'm saying. It sounds like black powder is what they're fucking with if it's that loud. They're out there
Yeah.
fucking
it's loud.
Well, I guess
Yeah.
a modern
I
shotgun
don't know
would be
what-
considered a machine by their definition. So
One of the things that I did on the first rack that I built when I didn't know shit, but it actually seems to be working. I put it like a dummy tub in, and then I put the probe inside the tub to where it's over the heat tape, and that thing works better than any rack that I have still. I mean, people
Nice.
bust on me about it because it's made out of the rat tubs, the black concrete rat tubs, and it looks like a rat rack. But I mean, I don't know. That thing's working like really well.
Nice.
Holding
Pretty
heat and
pretty
stuff.
smart, actually.
It's the only rack system that my females have laid eggs in. If I put them in the other ones, they seem to reabsorb. So the ones that I really want to lay eggs, I have them in that setup there, and I don't know. I mean, it just must be the right temperature, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
It ain't broke, don't fix
On
it.
the very bottom,
exactly.
on the very bottom tub is a dummy tub. There's not a snake in it. It just got the probe sitting over the heat tape, and I even got it taped on so it don't go nowhere. And man, that thing just seems to work right.
Nice.
That's actually smart. I mean, you're probing off of where the rest of your tubs want to be reading, so that makes a lot of sense.
That's just when I started building it, I was like, all right, I need to keep temperatures the same in every drawer. So there's 11 drawers, but I only use 10. 5's on one, part of the thermostat, and 5's on the other, but it all runs off of one probe.
Okay.
And
Crazy.
it works pretty good.
Nice.
Sweet.
I just wanted to throw my
Vince, I
2
think
cents
if
on
you were
that.
to keep like your rack smaller, right, and just like more, like have it so you can easily transport it, I think a lot more people would be willing and open to buying a smaller rack versus a larger rack.
oh, for sure. I think that's where Vision has that niche market too, because they really they work on having the smaller rack systems that you can still wheel around. You can still have 10, 20 animals in one, but you can wheel it through a door if you need to.
Yep.
And it's kind of like trying to push one of these ARS or Freedom Readers around.
That's factual. I like too how you could have the option to change the bins down the road. Like that whole same rack, I could if I wanted to go from the smaller bins to a bigger bin down the road, it's easily changeable to do that.
Yeah.
Like Nick was showing me how his are, and he's like, "Well, I could turn it sideways and do it big for the bigger boas or the berms or whatever."
Yeah, you can do up to like the 70 series, right? And
I don't know what the I know it's like V10. I don't know the series of how they work with them because I haven't seen too much of them, but I'm learning them now. I have been learning them, but that's what I've noticed, which is cool as shit to me. You have the option; it's versatile down the road to change out whatever you want to do it with.
Right.
That's what I like.
Yeah.
One thing that seems to be a constant in the hobby or in the industry either is change. Things are constantly evolving. Everyone's collection constantly evolves. So, having equipment that is able to change with the individual is key.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, you can do the V70 in a rack with the 30 or whatever. See?
Yeah.
Which was pretty dope. You just had to turn the rack sideways, so it made it the long way instead of it the long way facing you with bins. You had to turn it like this.
Yeah,
you had
you can do two this way or one the other way, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And then it had so many options already on the platform to change your wiring around wherever you wanted it.
For the heat cable.
They literally thought of so many different ways of using the rack, which I like a lot. It's actually really cool.
Yeah, those Versa racks look really cool too.
Yep.
For people that keep different species that might need like a ceramic heat emitter or something like that, or UVB lighting.
I want to look into more of those. I'm really interested in that shit.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest things I wanted to do is something that's lightweight and that, like you said, versatile, where you could just put different shit in there. Like it'd be the same width or height, but you could put a tub that's going to be a different width and be able to move that around. Because like right now, that's what I use. Like so I went to Walmart. I got one of those wire shelves where you got that little plastic thing that goes on them and you drop that shelf. And that's one thing that I was trying to do, was have tubs that were all about the same, so that no matter what, I could always try to, it'll always be the same height. You'll just have a different width that goes in there.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the nice thing too about those vision tubs too, is like if you want to do the ASFs, I've seen people just get the specific, either like the 35 series tub or the 35 short tub, and they get the lid, and then you can go get the wire rack, like Vance said, and you can run your water lines all the way through the rack. You purchase 2 or 3 racks, and you could have like a colony of, 10, 15 ASF colonies.
Well, what was dope about the rat racks, the rodent racks to me, is you had the option on one rack to have different size tubs. Like the one picture I saw, it had like all the breeders at the top and then your grow outs on the bottom. And I was like, see, that's dope for somebody that just has a small collection and wants to have a nice little setup. That was really sweet to me. Because if you go to ARS or any Freedom Breeder, any of them, you're going to get one size fits all, type deal, on one rack, more or less.
Yeah. There are certain tubs that you could add on to certain racks, but you're very limited. That's why I said I think it's important, like if you were to design a rack, to have the options, right, for different size tubs.
Right. What can you add on there and different things that can make that work and fit, and it's definitely going to be a
you can create a nightmare for yourself trying to make one that would conform to every situation too. Sometimes simple stupid is a much better approach.
It might be easier to come like with like a slotted style, bar stock, right? So where you can set, like John said, you can set rails or runners to put the tubs on top of. It's going to take some time to figure all that stuff out, and like what you want to do, or like what size you want to go with.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I think it's gonna turn out good.
Yeah, you get the tubs in your hand and you get some melamine or wood or whichever you want to use, and start fucking trying shit out, piecing shit together like a puzzle and trying shit out to accommodate your needs, more or less.
Yep. It was fun. It's like when I did my Santa Maria grill, that thing was fun, man. I was just sitting there going, all right, I got limited stuff. I got a good welder, but I'm not in shop, so there's certain things that I don't have. So it was like, all right, I'm going to get the sheet metal. I'm going to do this and that, and got everything going and do that. That Santa Maria grill turned out really good. It turned out nice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was stoked on it. The only thing I was, because you could do the change with the coating around it, that cable, but I wanted to kind of steer away from that because the heat kind of burning the plastic and different things, and over time that wire kind of breaks. So I went with a chain, and I went with a little thicker one that I probably should have. Now it's still, you could wind it up when you go to turn it, crank the wheel, it'll wind up, but it can be a little off at times. So like that was a little bit of a learning process where I'll probably I'll get a chain, but just drop it a little size smaller. And I think that'll work pretty good. And then when I drilled a hole and I got a pin to go in there to hold it, but it ended up snapping, and it was my fault. I didn't, when I welded it, I needed to put do another bead around there, and I didn't. So one day I was out there and I had it on, and that thing snapped and came down on my thumb. So there's just one little piece that I got to get and that I'm going to fix and get it going. But other than that, it turned out good. Like I did a 3-piece tube. I got that all grinded down, looking just like it's one piece. Like everything came out really nice and clean. In fact, I'll have to show you guys some pictures in there. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to doing all this, and just, I know there's a lot of things that I'm going to have to work out and figure, but I know I'll get get it figured out. So
Do you want to do like some mobile welding too, Vance? Like get a nice like 3/4 ton truck and outfit it with all your rig and stuff like that, and do mobile jobs, or are you just going to be trying to do like production type material from your house?
well, I was gonna get a rig and be doing my own stuff like that, but it's probably I'll end up just turning it to where I'll just strictly do snake racks.
Nice.
But we'll see. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I might end up hiring people to do it or something. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see how it goes. If everything works out right and business takes off, I would probably hire some people to work for me. That way I'd have time to visit with you guys and shit, you know, fucking.
Give me the keys, I'll fly out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we all know how those jobs come, you know, like it's a time suck, right?
Mm-hmm.
It can be.
But that's the thing. I want if I do this though, I want select people that I'm going to hire and know that's going to do the job correct. I don't want people that are just going to slap it together and, you know, not do a good job. That's
shitty product, more or less. Because if you're welding it, you gotta have good welders that know what they're doing. Are you doing this steel or are you doing this aluminum?
Aluminum.
See, that's tedious shit, right? I was gonna say
TIG welding is an art form, you know.
Yeah,
I can MIG weld. I MIG weld.
If I'm correct, aluminum has to be at a lower temperature. Like you have to be like you'll put a hole through that bitch real quick. You know,
you could burn aluminum real quick. I've TIG welded aluminum once because when I worked for the geothermal company, a guy wanted his base made out of aluminum, so I had to weld 1x1 stock, and we had to buy a special type of wire for it too, with a fatter flux core in the middle. So there's a couple steps you have to take. You do have to turn your voltage up, so you got to be careful because you'll burn right through that shit. But your gas has to be lower and your voltage has to be higher, and it's a little more stickier. I don't know if you ever welded, but like when you MIG weld, like, it'll kind of get sticky. Well, with the aluminum, you have to be quick or you're like stuck. You know what I mean? Like. So you got to be like do circles real fast.
Have you guys seen like those laser welders that like remove like mill scale but they also like lay down a nice bead? That might be something you look into, Vance, is like a nice laser welder.
Have you seen I think they're like Chinese or whatever, but it's just a gun now you plug into the wall and it has a big stick in it and just bam, bam, and they're just running shit with that shit. I'm like,
they're making new stuff and welding it. Yeah,
gas welders, you know, that shit's definitely gonna eventually. That's gonna be the way to go, you know, because they're running crazy shit with those things.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really good at welding, man. My welds are super pretty, so I'm looking forward to doing the TIG welding.
Vance is over there stacking dimes.
Mm-hmm. I do.
That thing Justin's talking about, it looks just like a drill. It looks like a handheld drill.
Nice.
Yeah. They're fairly cheap too. They're only around $100. But
they're doing like that's not for like what I'm
like hard welding. I don't think that's not quite what I'm talking about. Like
no, the laser ones are pretty tight.
Yeah, the laser ones are crazy too. I've seen where it's like has a flat screen and it'll literally like take all like the rust looking scaling off. Pretty much, it'll run right over it and it'll take it off.
Nice. Yeah,
the glasses aren't as dark either with the laser. Like that's what I'm seeing with this laser welding. Like you don't have to wear the blacked out glasses. It's just it's a clear glass with like protecting on it, like some kind of blue light protection or whatever. I'm not sure what. But that's wild.
It's crazy.
$32,000 though. That's got to be pretty wild for $32,000.
Oh yeah, see there we go. Not cheap.
Well, there's one for 17. That's the cheapest I see is 17,000, but still, that's an investment.
Yeah, got to pay to play. But if you're going to be, you know, if you get the orders lined up and you're producing, it's good to have good equipment, right? I think the same holds true for like any industry. you get what you pay for, right?
Yep.
Light weld, 1,000-watt handheld laser welding and cleaning system. They give you a free welding cart, so that's pretty
At
neat.
that price, I don't think it's free.
No, that's
they
the,
just
that's
say
the, that's
free
the
welding cart.
$16,500 deal plus the $500 cart.
Yeah.
What's up, Kurt?
What's up, Kurt?
Kurt.
Yeah, like I was looking at a CNC machine I ordered in a catalog, and they sent me like a CD and shows the demo and all this cool shit. And that CNC machine was like $25,000-$30,000.
Oh yeah.
Oh hell, you can get the Temu one for $56 right here.
That's crazy.
You're looking at solder guns, bro.
Yeah, it's basically a glorified solder
Ken's
gun.
trying to blow up. Ken's trying to blow up. That's what's gonna happen. He's gonna be on the headline news.
That's one of those little plastic welding guns. You know, that inserts that little clip in there.
For welding Legos.
Well, I mean, that's if you really want to buy it, just go buy the Temu one and see if it works.
John Straight said,
Sure. I see nothing that could go possibly wrong in that scenario whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, just check it out to see if you
That's
like
like
it.
Chris
I mean,
comparing the $20 thermostat to a nice Herpstat, right?
before you're going to
You
go
get what you
spend
pay for.
$17,000 on something, you know,
Well,
just go
that's
buy
true,
the
too.
$50 one and see if it's actual something you like. If you can get something to stick with the $50 one, I think you're all right with the $17,000 one.
For sure. Yeah, the aluminum welding is no joke, though. I've tried it a lot of times, and I am fucking god-awful at it, I'll be honest.
It's difficult.
I can make
It's
shit
not.
stick, but it ain't pretty.
Yeah,
You know?
especially
It
like
took me a while to get it, but I eventually got it. It's not just like your normal MIG.
No,
I mean, you got
it takes skill, right?
especially if you got to put that foot switch, you got that pedal, then you got to sit there and hit that, and then you got your torch, then you got to sit there with your rod and go, and
that's TIG. MIG, we had a button, like, you know, it's just right here.
What'd you?
You know, you
said
push the
MIG?
button.
Yep.
Yeah, it was MIG.
Oh, MIG,
machine
yeah.
fed.
Yeah, I thought
You could
said
do
MIG.
it. You could do it MIG, but most aluminum welding's done with TIG. But it can be done with MIG.
Yeah, we have a
I love MIG.
Miller-Matic 275 at work, and we have like an optional aluminum spool gun.
Yeah.
But it fails in comparison to a good TIG weld. You know, like if you're a skilled TIG welder compared to somebody who can MIG and use that gun, obviously go with the TIG machine.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
But see, like, you're not putting that much weight on it, so I think MIG would suit the purpose if you could do it, because what the TIG is it's just joining the metal better. The MIG sort of like melting it together, kind of. TIG's like you're putting the metals together, so you're making a more solid, like, bind that could hold more weight.
It's more of a molten metal.
What I do with my MIG is I goop that shit and I get my grinder wheel out and I just grind it till it looks.
Throw those booger welds on there.
He's got all those dingleberries on there and shit.
And I'll make that shit look pretty by the time I'm done. It should look flat and normal.
1 hour to weld, 10 hours to grind.
You're damn right.
Hey, grinding wheels are cheap.
We used to do a lot of off-road fabrication down in California, and man, like it's a lot of grinding.
Yep.
It was all MIG, you know. So we're working on like DOM, or we were working on chromoly, and yeah, you're out there with the grinder and just going to town.
Going to town.
We had this one guy when I was going to welding school. That guy spent, I think we spent a couple hours out there doing our coupons. That's what they call it. It's just a little piece of metal. And so we would finish that in like a few hours. But this one dude was out there, man, fucking all day just grinding away on that bitch. Fucking the instructor got pissed. He's like, he's still grinding on that.
That'd definitely be me over there for sure. I done glooped so much on that bitch, making sure it ain't gonna fall apart. I gotta get this shit looking nice.
The thing was, he hit.
Once you get the hang of it, it's not that hard.
Well,
It's
he
not.
had
Yeah, you just
everything
gotta
ground down.
bevel the edges, you know.
I think he was just trying to polish it out to chrome or something, man. Like he already had it
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, I
Don't-
mean, he
Don't
was
start
trying to
taking
see
those
his
welds
face
out. You go
in
any
it.
further?
He was trying to see his face in it. This is what he was trying to do.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. You're trying to make a shaving mirror.
Yep.
We had a guy that made a
Dinner in
little.
his teeth from last night, and he was trying to see if he can get it out.
We had a guy in there that made a little key to get where you could steal a car or whatever. It just cut like a little triangle, and this guy, he had one of the guys that worked there had the golf cart parked right there, and he took that little triangle piece of metal and stuck it in there and turned that golf cart on and started driving it.
That son of a bitch.
Heck yeah. Alien.
Someone
keys.
just have a Chinaman behind them or something. I heard some some kind of
I got
something
something.
going on backstage
Pakistani.
somewhere.
I was foolish enough to open up a message, and I should not have.
All right, I was wondering if someone had an Asian or a Pakistani somewhere.
Well, Nick's out. He's gonna open his strawberry beer.
He's feeling fruity
Strawberry
tonight,
beer.
guys.
Enjoy that strawberry
Strawberry
beer.
Enjoy that strawberry.
I tell you what, there's a beer called Lambic, and it comes in raspberry, apple, peach,
Lambic.
whatever. But Lambic, yeah, the raspberry one is where it's at, though. The raspberry Lambic is good as
What's
shit.
up, Brian?
What's up, Brian?
So,
I hit you up on IG, so get back with me then. I might be
So
around, Chris.
you like the lambic beers, Ken?
Oh, I mean, I don't like the apple or the peach or any other flavor, but the raspberry one, like, I will never turn a raspberry lambic down. That shit's like awesome. Like, it's like my favorite drink of all time.
Oh, okay. I do like the peach lambic. I like all kinds of different beers, but
It's all right, but it just don't stand in comparison with that raspberry one. That raspberry one is done right, and it's just amazing.
yeah. Do you like the sour beers at all?
Not so much.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm not a big drinker much anymore anyways. I mean, I'll try them, and I'll drink a beer here and there, you know, but, I mean, as far as liking them, there's very few and far between that I'd say that I'd like. Any kind of, like, IPA or hoppy stuff, no.
Not
keep
for
it
you.
over.
Yeah.
Just keep rolling.
Have
If
you
it
guys
tastes
ever had
like
that
grapefruit
Angry
juice,
Orchard?
I don't like it.
I had a brown sugar lager one time that was fucking amazing.
That sounds
Brown
kinda
sugar
good,
lager.
actually.
Oh my god, that was good.
It's just super heavy to me. I don't mind the taste of it. It's just super heavy on the stomach to me. So it's like if I have one, I have to have literally like one. It's like Guinness. I'm literally drinking. That's it. You know.
Yep.
Yeah, I like to try different styles of beers. Like I had a buddy that was a national homebrewing champion. And
Nice.
to get to that point, you have to basically brew every style of beer there is and then submit it. So you're creating recipes and you're brewing all these different beers. And there's certain styles that I would not want to drink, you know, like ever. And then there's certain beers that, you know, occasionally are nice.
Right.
I've been told that mead is really good. I've never had it, but
Yeah, honey mead.
yeah.
Yeah, I've never had
It's
it.
just an old style way of doing it. I think it's like more about the process of making it to make it called a mead.
Yep.
I always
All
like when
temperatures
you
that is
all
the
how it
process,
ferments.
I like when you go to those beer places like that make the beer and shit, and they got like all the different beers, and you could order like you can get single beers, however, but then you could sit there and order like a sample thing basically, and you'll get one of each drink and shit.
Oh yeah, you get the flights.
Yeah, the blondes or this or that.
Those are normally like what IPAs, aren't they? Those
Yeah, the ones that from what I've noticed, yeah, it is the
We
IPA.
did the Yingling for, I mean, this was before COVID. I don't even think they have it anymore since COVID hit. But we did the Yingling like Beer Factory tour, and I tell you what, I was a Yingling fan before that tour, but like after that tour, it ruined me because that Yingling, that little glass of Yingling you got fresh off the, brewery line or whatever, was totally different from what's in the bottles. Like it
fresh
just,
off the barrels.
yeah, fresh out the barrels, whatever you want to call it. Like, wow, that was a good beer. It made me hate Yingling in a bottle because it has it gets a sour taste to it. Like you were saying, a sour beer, like Yingling definitely gets a sour taste when it sits. They say the green glass helps it, but yeah, no, once you taste that fresh, you're never going to lose that taste. Like that was a refreshing drink. I was like, give me more. No,
That's a
can't
lot
do it.
like the Pilsners, right? Like Heineken and stuff. That's why they use the green bottles,
Yep.
Well,
Exactly.
Heineken just tastes like skunk piss to begin with, so I don't know who would like that to begin with.
It's sour. It's just fucking sour, is what it is.
That ain't
It's
sour. That's
really-
skunk pissy. Like that's just like that makes me
strong.
quiver thinking about it.
That's a new descriptor, skunk pissy. I think I'm gonna write
Yeah,
that
it's
one
It
down.
skunk-
does have a
skunk
skunky
piss.
flavor to it, though.
Well,
It's
yeah,
like
it
you're
looks like
like-
a skunk piss flavor.
It's
I
like
said my brother, he'll go get 211s, and I'm like,
Maybe that's why they called it Heineken. Heine, because it tastes like ass.
always have that buddy and shit be like, yeah, let's get a Heineken, and it tastes like shit, and you're like, yeah, and then you drink it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
why did I say out of this shit?
You're like,
You already
yeah, you can have it.
yeah.
Yeah, you can have all the Heineken you want because I'm good on it.
Yeah,
I had a
it's
buddy
not-
growing up that was like his favorite beer was Heineken. I'm just like,
that or an old E.
What's up,
Oh
Bosa?
man, that shit is so
Oh
harsh.
man,
it's,
I tried to drink one of them not
Aaron,
long
what's
ago.
up,
Like,
Bosa?
because when we was as kids, that's what we used to drink, old E40s, because we thought we was cool. That malt liquor
Malt
just don't
liquor?
even taste good anymore. Like, what the hell was we thinking? Like,
Edward,
It didn't,
Edward
it
40
didn't taste
hands.
good then.
We were
No,
thinking we
we
could
just
afford
pretended
it,
it did.
and it's going to do the job.
The first time I had an old E, man, I threw up. That
You
shit
guys
made
ever,
me
you ever,
sick.
you guys ever play Edward like 40 hands? Like where you duct tape
Tape 'em.
240s to your hands and you're sitting
Yep.
there like first to finish wins.
yep.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't finish
need a
with
wide
40
mouth.
for anything, man. I can't do it. It gets too warm, and I'm like, nope.
Colt
I can't tell you
45.
how many
This is
Mickey's
bad.
Ice I did that to. Like they had the Mickey's 40s in their hand, and we're just sticking their duct tape. Fucking.
I could drink a Mickey's grenade, not a Mickey's 40. It's like them little, I think they were 12-ounce grenades.
The
I could
buzz
do
bombs?
those, but not a 40.
I like those.
Yeah.
But see, we wouldn't get them here in Florida, so we're close. Well, here in Jacksonville, we're close to the Georgia line, so we literally drive up to Georgia to get 40s and come back, just because we couldn't have them here in Florida.
We used to grab those little Mickey's 64s. They'd come in like a little
Oh, yeah.
jug with a hoop handle.
Yep.
We'd drink one of them every weekend. You'd start with that, and then you'd go into like a cheap Miller Lite or some shit, you know.
I do like
Start
a good
off the night
Stella,
with a
Kurtwood. You got me
64.
hooked on that beer for sure.
Yes, that was good.
Are
Do you
we,
guys have the red
aging
dog beer?
ourselves here, guys, or what?
Do what, Mark?
I said, are we aging ourselves here, guys? Talking about drinking 40s and
Maybe
Yeah.
making
a
some
little bit.
oldies.
Pretty much.
Now I'm sitting here drinking a vodka
Doing
mule
that
and a
no more.
Dude, I love that
He's the old
Cutwater
guy down
stuff.
here
They made
that's
some
doing
good
all
stuff.
that, you know?
Right.
Just don't say you're going to the store and getting a bottle of Mad Dog, because that might cause a reaction that I don't want to cause.
Have you guys ever had Red Dog?
Oh,
Oh,
Red
yeah.
Dog, come
The
on.
beer?
Terrible.
That shit would give me the worst headaches the next day.
my brother drinks that 211
That dog
still
was my
reserve
jam
shit.
back in the day, man. I drank that shit like it was like going out of style, and it did, but
Right?
Yep.
That still reserve stinks. That shit is fucking
that's just
just
paint
like
thinner.
puke in
bro.
a can. That is gross. It'll fuck you up though. You drink 4 of them sons of bitches, you'll be drunk.
I was putting Kike's up there.
I was too. We
All right. We just do kept going. What in the world?
Congrats.
Yeah.
Good for
Did
you.
you
man.
ever
Congrats,
notice?
man.
Yeah, congrats, Bosa.
That's awesome. Me
Did
too.
you- Did you ever notice if you turned a Red Dog label upside down, it looks like Batman going down on a woman?
Yep.
Here, let me blow you up.
Jesus. Leave this shit up
You
to
see,
Ken.
like there's his head. No, that was like something like that we heard when we was kids. Like I didn't invent that. It went
I
black.
forget what was that other one?
I didn't invent that.
Another one. Oh, the Bulls, the Chicago Bulls, the crowd.
Yeah, the Chicago Bulls.
Did you ever
alien doing something or whatever?
Yeah.
I want to pull it up, see if I can find it. Did you ever see the man that taking a leak on the pack of a Camel cigarettes?
Yep, pissing right out of the back leg.
Everyone
there.
hear that one?
Mm-mm.
No, it's the front, I think.
Is it the front? I thought it was the back, but one of the legs. Is just
Maybe.
standing
I mean,
there
I
taking a
haven't
leak.
had a pack of Camels in 20 years, so I don't really know. I'll have to look it
Speaking
up
of
next.
camels, I'll be right back.
Oh, camel riders.
So you guys excited for this upcoming football
Yeah,
season?
it does look like a little alien.
See it?
I see
It's
it.
a little alien.
Yeah.
And you like playing turntables or something? No, it looks like an alien playing turntables or something like that.
Yeah, like an alien
Like
on a mixer board, like a mixer.
Yeah, yep, on a mixer board. Yep. Look at that clean camera.
See, there's his head up here. There's his hands coming down.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, now what was the other? Oh, the camel. Pack of camel. All right.
Well, John got his pack of camel. Didn't you have a pack of camel, John?
The things you learn on a reptile podcast,
Right? Y'all come to learn all kinds of good stuff.
right?
No, it's on the front legs, John. I'm going to have to turn the screen off for this one. But it's the front leg. See him standing right here? There's his arms, there's his head, and right past there's his little wee-wee. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I never noticed
And they're
that.
taking a leak.
Never noticed that.
He's just standing there taking a leak.
Oh shit!
That's wild.
The hidden shit they have and everything, you know?
Yep. There's hidden shit everywhere.
Well, guys, you ever seen a dollar bill? No,
All right, I'm done having fun. I'm done having fun. Put me off blast.
Yeah, like Mark was saying though, yeah, I'm ready. Football season's 3 months out.
Yes,
Right
yes,
around
yes.
the corner.
I almost got the fantasy football league set up. I took a couple people out because they didn't really participate last year. So we're going to have at least 10. I'm going to try to get 12 people in it this year. We need 2 more. We got 2 open spots. If they fill, I'm going to start the league. I have to change the draft time because I set it for July 26th at 5 o'clock. And I was like, after I said it, I was like, crap, that's right when Vance comes on. So I think I'm going to do it earlier on the 26th that day because I don't want you to be on your show sitting there trying to draft. You know what I mean?
Time out.
What about like
I'm
noon?
drafting right now, guys. Just give me 1 second.
Well, no, like I could have an advantage there, actually. Maybe I'll just leave it the same now. I'll probably
like
do it
noon our
noon
time.
that day.
Yeah.
But doing noon your time will be 4 my time. That's what I was thinking. So it'd be 4 o'clock my time. Well, no, that would still be only an hour before he goes on. Maybe I'll do it like 2 o'clock our time because that gives you 3 hours.
Sweet. Yeah. I'm ready for this football season. We got your fantasy football thing, and then we'll be having the Thunderdome going again.
And I'll be 2-peating twice on both. So
yeah, he's
Yeah,
kidding,
I
guys.
think there's a couple people coming for you this year, Ken.
Yeah, there's me, John. We got Will.
Jens tried last year and couldn't do it. So
we got
bring it.
Josh, Jamie, and then we got some more coming on. Sammy, he's gonna join it now.
Sammy will probably win it because he knows nothing about football. And when you have someone that knows nothing about football, that's who's going to beat you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. I'm still trying to decide though. I don't know if I'm gonna stick to 4 games right now, or change it, or kind of like I did last year. We did the 4 games, and then towards the end, I started doing like, what was it, like 8 games or something, or something like that. 6 games. I started throwing a few extras. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. But we got 3 months. It's coming up pretty soon. It's wild.
Actually, we only got one spot left. We only got one spot left because bald head balls Jeff Lewis joined the league, and Banana Bread Royals also joined the league. So there's only one for a 10-person league. But if I get another 3 people, we'll do a 12-person. The 12-person league is hard because then you're scrounging to find players that start to go in. So it's pretty hard with 12. But if that's what happens, that's what happens.
It just kind of sucks because, like, with the 10, like, it sucks for that part, but then with the 10 people, then you're only running 10 weeks, and it's like, man, you still have 7 weeks that you don't get to play. Like, I wish it would pick, like, see, what was there, 10 games? If it would pick, like, 7 people that you could play over again, that would be pretty cool. Because just like football, you're only playing like just basically your division a few games, and then everybody else you just play that one time. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost thinking like weekly we should bump up the number of games just to spread out the differential a little bit. Because like 4 games, it stays so close. People are like within a game of each other. You know what I mean?
It is.
You get 5 or 6 picks. Then
like maybe first week start out with the full schedule.
And that's what I was thinking too, John. It's hard because it's kind of cool having that tight race, but then in some senses it was almost maybe too tight. So like you said, I'm thinking that's where I was kind of leaning towards is doing like maybe 6 games. I think that would be a good amount to break that up a little bit more without going too crazy.
It was a lot of fun though, man. A little more attention this year. I missed a couple weeks, missed a couple games, and let Ken just implode his
the
head.
last 2 weeks I pulled away.
Don't let him win again this
You
year,
can't even
John.
say that because the last 2 weeks I crushed you. Like I just put you in the ground. You was right there. I mean, and then you forgot 1 game, but I ended up winning by like 6. I mean, I just crushed you.
It's like once you got
exclamation point.
Once you got in that.
See this?
That
Don't let him do this shit this year, y'all. You see this? He's talking mad shit.
I'm going to do it.
Hey,
I'm going to do it again.
I think we got to get like one of those like WWE style like world championship belts.
Yeah, we need to get
like
one.
the winner.
Yep.
Speaking of that, this was the T-shirt, one of them from it. Like, got the Blue Zombie Morph over here, got the Morph Forge over there, and then on the back, I mean,
got the Thunderdome logo.
You got a ponytail?
Got Ken's ass
Careful,
crack.
Ken, your phone is showing.
and I could show you my slides. I mean,
Jesus Christ.
I had to throw it out there because
Pulling down.
That's everybody's
it's Dickie
favorite.
Foster. What's up, Dickie?
I'm still amazed you can
Dickie
get your
told me
foot
he
up
wanted to
high.
see my. I don't know. I might got a gut, but I'm still kind of limber. But that's because I do like yoga still. Yoga keeps your muscles stretched.
Can you do a backflip?
Hell no. I can't get my belly around. Are you crazy? I mean, my feet will go up and my head will hit. I might be able to get like a little bit over. I used to be able to do a backflip, but I haven't tried it in a year. I'll try it into the pool this year and see if I can land on my feet.
Video or it didn't happen.
I'll land with my feet.
Video or it didn't happen. Just saying.
Right, video or it didn't happen.
No, we'll get a video for sure.
What is that video? That's a Hertz, don't it? Or what is it?
Hertz, don't it?
Or what is it? I'm trying to think of. That's a whack fuck. You hear him whack fuck.
Oh.
that first one that
as long
came
as the
out
head's not
with that
hitting the
golf
side of the
ball.
floor, you're good.
Yeah, those videos are always the greatest to me. You always hear, well, here's a whack fuck, and next thing you know, you just hear it in the background. Whack fuck.
Fuck this shit.
Right.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Hey, have you guys seen the newest one where he's got a Christmas ornament and like he goes to jump off this box, the box fails, and then like his head just like slams into this Christmas ornament and he knocks himself completely out. It's hilarious.
Jeez.
Check out Superhuman. If you haven't seen that guy is he's out there.
He's lost his rocker, is what he done.
This is for the juggalos and
He went to one too many ICP shows is what he did.
He did.
Well,
Have you seen him
Got
get the
sprayed
hot
down
sauce?
with too much Fago.
Hey, you
That's
Lego
the
my
best.
Fago.
Right? That's how he hypes himself up. He gets 2 bottles of hot sauce and he just gulps them down and fucking does one of those. That's awesome, dude.
Isn't that his own hot sauce? I think he sells that.
Yep.
What's crazy, you know, it's like his dad video recording. What, like, you know, his dad's got to be like sitting in the background, just shaking his head, like, God, my son's a fucking
Yeah.
What is he thinking the whole time video recording this shit? You know?
I don't
His
know if
dad's
that's
just
his
counting
dad,
the
but did you
subs.
notice?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's his dad, but did you notice that one old guy in that one video that we always watch? Like, he had his face covered, as in, like, I'm embarrassed. I don't want to be seen around this.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't want to
what
be
I'm saying.
associated with this. I don't want to be on camera.
Yeah.
But I will shoot you with fireworks.
But I'll definitely shoot a firework up your ass, no problem. I don't know if I drink that hot sauce.
Yeah. I'm good with the fireworks up my ass. None of that.
Yeah, I'm not getting shot by him. I'm good.
I mean, I'll get shot by them. I mean, that's all good, but you know,
Not me. I'm not trying to get burned.
I mean, a Roman candle don't hurt that bad.
No, because when I worked at Lowe's, there's this one guy. He did. He was watching that Jackass or something too much, but he took the Roman candles, and him and some buddies, they were drinking, and he stuck it down there by his butt cheeks, and it got stuck, and it started firing and burnt the shit out of him. Like he came.
I watched someone that put a bottle rocket. There was a video that someone had put a bottle rocket in their butthole and tried to let it take off. Well, they clenched too much and it didn't take off. They got their butthole blown out a little bit.
Burn the shit out of them.
Damn.
Jeez. Do not play with fireworks, my guys.
He coughed at the wrong time and snagged it.
You're right.
The cough.
Man, I don't know. I couldn't believe that guy did it though. When he told me that, he came to work and he was all burned up on his back and everything, and he told me what happened. I was like, dude, I don't even know why you'd be doing that shit.
Jeez.
That's just dumb.
I bet a lot of alcohol was involved.
Oh yeah, 1,000%.
That sounds the story.
Hey, watch this.
Copious amounts.
Copious.
What are you guys gonna do for this weekend?
There's a cookout at my mom's house. I don't even know if I'm going. I think I just like the peace. The kids aren't here, so I'm just gonna keep my peaceful serenity. I'm working with Tyson on the next saga. I'm kind of writing it out for him, so I think I'm going to start on that probably tonight and going into tomorrow. Knock it out.
Oh yeah.
Come on.
What?
Yeah, probably just be chilling around here this weekend.
That's what I'm doing. I think Pat's coming by tomorrow. We're gonna ultrasound some of his snakes, and Stan will be here tomorrow to clean and do some of his snakes, and that's about it. I think Alex is in there feeding tarantulas right now.
Nice.
That's why you're out there in the building.
Correct.
Yep.
Does Alex have quite a few?
What she's got like 20 something, I think close to 30.
I think she had like 30 something already.
Yeah. Or she might have over that. Yeah, I know it's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot.
That's spiders and tarantulas, huh?
Yes.
Hey, I'm going to bounce off here. I got to finish dinner up. They're hungry, looking at me saying, "Come on, let's go." I'll see you guys later. Later, chat.
Peace, brother. Enjoy your weekend.
Later,
Easy, everybody.
Have a good one,
Later.
Ken.
Have a great Memorial weekend.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm gonna do some yard work today. I don't know, probably. I need to do the backyard, get some rats cleaned up. In fact, I still got to go get some shavings and pellets, get them clean, do a little bit of feeding with the snakes, maybe barbecue something. I don't know. I'm thinking about barbecuing some hamburgers or something.
That's what I just did.
Did
exactly
you?
what I did. Yep, I threw some burgers on the grill.
You buy the frozen ones, or you make up your own patties?
I didn't buy frozen patties. I got like the Wahlburgers already made fresh. They're not frozen. They're already like in the just patties or whatever. But yeah, I got those ones. So you just like pull, like it's where the beef is when you go in there. They just have already prepackaged patties that aren't frozen that you can buy now, you know?
Yeah.
That's like I tried the little Wahlburgers. What is that? Mark Wahlberg, the Wahlburgers, whatever. They're pretty decent. Season them up with some pepper seasoning. That chopped steak and chop.
Nice. Yeah, I like doing the ground beef myself and everything, but I don't know, those frozen patties I like too. It's kind of like the McDonald's burgers or something, but do it yourself, you know, sit there and just throw some salt and pepper on them, throw some cheese on, get it done. They're pretty bomb.
The frozen ones are okay until you light the Airbnb on fire. They're all right until that point. Then they go bad.
Are those super generic burgers, or are those just the greasy ass ones?
I have no idea, dude. We showed up after we heard the story afterwards, but it was some cheap ass burger that was full of grease and whatever. But that whole side of the Airbnb was just flames. So Captain Ken got the fireman award for the weekend for sure.
Fire Marshal Ken.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something.
It was called a controlled burn, he said. Yeah, I don't know how controlled. It was controlled after, not during, for sure.
It was a grease fire.
They happen.
Overload of burgers on the grill, too many grease, too much grease.
Right.
They're like those they're frozen burgers, so you know them, they're gonna go to sweating immediately on the grill, and you got freaking an overload of patties on there, so it's just dripping, pouring grease all over the place.
Yeah.
It was bound to happen.
Right.
Ken that did it. I would say when Chris and Miggy were standing right there.
That's funny. Yeah, in fact, that's the other thing I get to do too. I got that cocoa from Chris, so I get to make some of that up today.
Nice.
Yeah, I get to try it out and stuff.
That the chipper?
Yeah. Yeah, I use the Freedom Breeder. Freedom Breeder is only like maybe a little over an hour from me or so. Hour and 15 minutes, hour and a half. So I always order from them and shit. They got the free shipping, but I got that during the auction. I was like, I want to try it out.
I just bought 10 blocks up today myself.
Oh, shit.
Come on.
Good stuff. You guys will like it. We had zero mold issues when we tried it. I mean, even the inflated bricks were awesome.
When you set it up, man, cut the top out of the bag, pour hot water in there, like straight out of the tap hot, and just let it sit.
Nice.
Like I end up putting about 2 gallons to a block and just let it sit and let it swell, man. It's great stuff.
Nice.
I like the cocoa to go that he's got. That's what me and Stan, we won some in the auction too. That's what we got was the cocoa to go from, and I think that's good quality stuff. I didn't like the chipper because it bled so much on I used it before the past, and it just bleeds so much red on all my snakes. And like especially my white pies and shit. I didn't care for it too much, but the Cocoa to Go, that's pretty good shit. I care for it. I like it.
That's why, like the Freedom Breeder, it's the same thing. When I'll have that red in there, so I try to get it washed out pretty good. But it sucks because you try not to put too much, because then you get into that problem where you got that mold that starts growing and shit. So it's like,
that's the difference that using the warm water makes, or the hot water makes with the chipper, is it soaks it up faster that way, so you don't end up with it sitting in a pool, and it kind of pulls the wood, opens and pours the wood. And
that's typically what I do is like I'll use, like the compressed cocoa, and then heat up the water in like one of those, electric kettles, tea kettles, and you get it to the top, and then like usually I'll do like 4 kettles to like 1 block, and it works great.
Yeah, that's what I do. Like I like to get some boiling water, and then I'll sit there and I'll pour it in there and let it soak for a little bit.
It takes a little bit more time, but it's worth it.
Exactly.
The only thing is like with some inferior products, it's like you might have like more of like that dye, or you can get staining. I typically don't have too many issues with that.
Well, the only time we is if a snake kicks up some in the water bowl and it sits there for a day or two in the water bowl.
Yeah, the tannins release. Yeah.
It's typically like what Chris said. It's just how many times it's washed. Like the Cocoa to Go's wash, you can tell it's quickly washed out more times before it's sent to us. And just like the Gopher Cocoa, as well as it's washed a shit ton of times. I've used it a bunch. Like you can tell the ones that are they're washed more, because I think that's a natural coloring of the cocoa that comes out is that red.
The tannins get released.
Right. It's just how many times they filter it and wash it out,
I just didn't feel like the Cocoa to Go went as far as the chipper does.
I don't know with that. I don't know with that. I just got the 2 big bales from them, so I did try it out. But it seems like for the product wise, it seems pretty decent. This is
it is a compressed block versus loose, right? So
right.
Those loose bags are really good.
The Cocoa to Go comes in a larger bag.
Yep.
You're big.
But
it comes like this. So nice.
Oh, nice.
A big old bag of it. And more, that's like what a block would almost.
Yeah, so that's like
you might get a little bit more out of a block, but it's equivalent.
Yeah.
I like it. It's a decent product for sure.
The Cocoa to Go was cut a little smaller and worked out better in like the hatchling rack than the chipper did. Sometimes we'll get big cuts on the chipper, and sometimes we'll get smaller cut on the chipper. When we get to the smaller cut stuff, I'm much happier about that because it lays a lot better than the bigger cut stuff does.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I was going to say that actually, Greg, is I use with the chipper, I use the bigger stuff, and I heard that through the grapevine that the smaller stuff is a little bit better than the bigger stuff.
Yeah. If you can find the smaller stuff, that stuff definitely it lays a whole lot better, especially in like the enclosures are display enclosures. It really tends to stay in them better. Whereas with the bigger stuff, you open the drawer and the snake whips its tail or something, you get substrate all over the floor, whereas the smaller stuff seems to bed in and stay better.
Correct.
The nice thing too is there's like not as much fibers in there as some of the cheaper, inferior quality.
Oh, absolutely.
Those too, like that's a big thing to me. Like I don't want my snake accidentally ingesting cocoa fiber while they're taking down an ASF or a rat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know so much about that. I mean, I know that I don't like the fiber in there purely for how it mixes, how it lays up, all of that. But dude, we've seen, and it might sound terrible, but we've seen some fairly good sized rats with wads of cocoa go down, and those animals are fine. I mean, they're digesting hair, bone, teeth, fingernail. They're not going to worry about a little piece of cocoa fiber that's going to go through there so quick. It's not even.
It's not a big chunk, I mean, you obviously look.
Not a lot, right? But little fibers and stuff. I don't worry about
like
that.
You said, John, in the wild, they're naturally like if there's substrate on the ground in the wild and they get a rat, and of course guts or whatever come out, it's going to stick to the side of it. They're going to ingest
Yeah.
it as well.
Oh yeah, they ate like 14 leaves, a little tree stem, whatever they caught it in.
They're not active.
Yeah, I wouldn't feed them sand, or something completely strange, right? But like, I don't worry about the cocoa fiber. I really don't. The aspen, the cypress does worry me a little bit, just because of how like sharp and
It is.
broke up
That's
it
why
is.
that's the only reason I don't use it.
Yeah, I just feel like that could get caught, right? Or it could, block sideways or something.
It all comes
We
down
had it 3 times in a matter of a couple of weeks. Wedge in the snake's mouth, right in the corner of the jaw, where they couldn't get it out. And as they were trying to move it, you could see it pushing through the bottom of the jaw. I was just afraid they were going to, injure themselves. And after we went through that, what we had, we don't use it anymore. Just only for that reason. If I could find some stuff that was cut smaller, like if it was cut to shorter than an inch, I'd be all over it. That would be all I'd use. I'll be honest.
Yeah. That does worry me a little with the cypress. I will say that. I mean, we watch it pretty close, but
the cypress is cheap and nothing holds humidity like that stuff does, man. That stuff is great.
That's what I hear is, Bosa, that's his shit. Bosa, he likes the, into the cypress mulch he uses,
Yeah. I said, if I could find some that was cut finer and was consistently cut that fine, I'd be all over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, I think typically, you can get cypress mulch from some of my local vendors here, but I'd have to buy the pallet to get the right stuff, right?
Yeah.
But that could be worth it in the long run. If you have a place to store the pallet, it could be definitely worth it in the long run.
Cypress mulch, I think, is a great substrate. It works great up here in the Pacific Northwest. I know that much. I've used both cocoa and cypress mulch.
Yeah.
You just have to find the right consistency, right? You need a product that's not going to be too big, it's not going to be too small.
100%.
Yep.
In fact, I think that was Cream de la Clutch that used to have. He had his own cypress, or it was like a hemp, like some type of hemp cypress or something.
So you get hemp. Hemp's expensive as hell. Hemp is not cheap. That's like
I would think that would be pricey.
Yeah. It's great, but it's expensive.
Yeah, it sucks he got out of the business because of the reptile thing. Because he had his own, but when I talked to him, he didn't have any more. He was trying to find another vendor or something, but then he ended up not getting out of the reptile thing. So that kind of just went out the window. That would have been nice, though.
I was just looking too. Home Depot's got electric corded chipper shredder. And I was like, I wonder if you could get mulch, like you were saying, Greg, if you wanted it smaller and buy bags and put it through
finer.
And run it through again, and would it make it smaller?
Yeah.
And they got one for $200 at Home Depot. You go buy some bags and you run them through and see if it made it smaller. I wonder if you could get away with that. That's actually not a bad idea.
I think it would, as long as. I mean, I don't know what the spacing is on that cutter or whatnot, but
that's the next curious question. But it says 1.25 inch 15 amp electric corded chipper shredder, so 1 1/4 more or less, maybe.
I mean, I'm assuming it would be like putting something in a blender. The more it goes, and
that's what my thought process is.
With start finding it down.
All right.
I think it would.
Like pillow stuffing.
Yeah.
It's just fluffy and shit. Like, what the fuck is this? I can't put this in the tub. Yeah. It might work great, but you're right. I mean, Greg, that's the one concern I think I'll agree with you 100% on. Like, some of the pieces, they'll be a 1/2 inch wide and maybe 2.5 inches long, and they're solid. It's like it's a solid sliver. It's not soft, not bendy.
Yeah, it won't bend at all. That's what worries me. And like I said,
I agree.
In a matter of it was inside of 6 weeks. We had 3 different times that the animals had it wedged in, and it scared me to the point. If the snake were to swallow it, if it were to get it to turn so that it would go down the gullet, and they were to swallow that, would they ever be able to pass that without impaling themselves? I don't think so.
Right.
It's hard to know, right? I mean,
Yeah.
And that's the thing too, is like everybody has certain snakes too that might not be the best or most intelligent animals, and they try and eat a rat or snake sideways, you know, or
We've all got that one or two.
push it around the tub for an hour.
Yeah.
Mhm. We all got
Yes,
that,
exactly.
that one cyclops snake.
I got one that every time will kill a rat the first time and will not eat it, and then the second rat he will eat every fucking time. Even Stancy, he's like, I've never seen those. I was like, I've never either. I'll throw one. It's the first rat I throw in there. He'll kill it, leave it there, won't eat it, and then I'm like, all right, I'm going to get another rat, throw it in there. He'll kill it and eat it. It's like clockwork every time.
Does he have
He's got like two
does he have an eating
personalities.
partner?
That's why I'm like, what the hell, bro? Like, it cost me 2 rats every time for one.
He goes from
Out of the blue.
Fucks me up.
Hey TJ,
Hi.
how's it going?
how you doing?
I'm good. I just got off. How are y'all?
Not bad.
Doing good, doing good.
That
How's
is
work?
the weirdest looking shit ever. Like what in the like some mystery science theater type shit.
I know his background fucks me. It just cuts me out. It doesn't like me.
She climbed out of the wall. That's pretty cool.
I'm single again. No.
You just see Greg get sucked into the wall and he's gone.
I bet you would pick up a booby if I had a booby in the picture.
Please don't do that.
I'm going down to his back more.
All right. I'll
And
be
y'all
on there.
Capital One. Love you. Come on, bud. Gotta go pie.
There you go. You see what I'm working with here, right? I'm just saying.
Hey, she seemed like she was in a good mood, Greg.
That's
She
the
didn't
first
choke you too much.
That's the first. Well, she came up here. She said that Capital One called her debit card's been hacked. So, yay!
Oh,
Oh no.
dirty.
Son of a bitch.
Little dirty scammers. I wished I knew how to hack, man. I would like to sit there and have my own YouTube and like hack those scammers and everything. Get them
Right.
back.
See those guys that are like hacking traffic cameras as they're driving?
No.
Yeah.
They were hacking the traffic cameras up there.
Yeah, they were like hacking into the traffic cameras and the traffic lights. So like as they're speeding through, drifting, they're turning the lights green and just drifting through intersections at like 120 miles an hour in these supercars.
That's
I was gonna say, rich
That's
people.
deadly.
I know, like, just because I've done some work for some pretty press wash some people that had some money, and they have like for their drivers, they pay for a device, which you go buy one, and it's thousands of dollars for this device. But their chauffeurs have it to where they pull up the lights, they can aim it at the light and push the button, and it will change the light for them and the valet to go through.
So what
quick.
that is the same technology that they put in the light bars of the
Police cars,
police cars
yes.
and
Ambulance and
change the lights.
yeah.
High value people can get their hands on them as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's like anything. It's illegal as fuck, but you know, if you pay enough money for it, you can get it.
So if I ever win the Mega Millions, you know what the hell I'm getting.
And it makes sense that Mark is saying they're in supercars because I'm pretty sure that's probably what they're doing the whole time. They got probably somebody sitting there just bloop, bloop, you know.
Yeah. Can you imagine that being like that would be smart if you're like a bank robber and shit. You could sit there and just like trip all those things and mess it all up so that they can't like have people going down the way.
Turn off all the traffic cameras so they can't do the facial recognition on you.
Like if they want to like. If those scammers want, they could just hit up the DMV and hook me up too. You know what I mean? Any of those fines and tickets, man, get rid of them for me.
Like Ryan said, ask a good friend, he'll teach you. Ryan and his computer geek stuff over there.
Yeah, he's pretty smart at that computer shit.
You know what I do? I count them. I go to the light and I'm like, all right, 1, 2, 3, 4, that light's turning. 1, 2, 3, 4, that light's turning.
Called the Opticom system.
Yep, that's what it is.
Opticon?
Opticon.
Yep.
Is that the enemy of the Decepticons?
How much is it, Will? I know it's pretty hefty price from what, and this was like quite a few years ago that my buddy was telling me this.
I know it was like 800 each device that you put on
Damn.
the vehicles, because when I was captain of our rescue squad, I was setting up a vehicle, setting up an ambulance, and it was like $800 for that system by the time we had that brought in and installed.
See, that's a good price. Well, that's also you are the city and working, so I'm sure you're getting a lot better price than what civilians. Because I know, well, my buddy was saying,
believe it or not, when you're buying things like that on contract and they see that you're working,
You pay more.
Yeah, as a volunteer agency, they weren't too terrible. But like if they're going for a government agency, oh no, you pay full price, baby.
Oh damn!
Sometimes twice the price.
Yeah,
It's all
they know that government money's good, baby. You got no choice.
I'm curious to know price, and then put it in my truck. And I'm just kidding.
Price yet.
Yeah, I think one that I saw was like one of those rabbit like little hack machines that has like LED screen on there. But then they were able to like put some separate antennas on there and like another LED screen. And they were sitting there driving, like hitting the button and turning the light screen like as they're just like going.
Shit, if the government ever gets into buying snakes and shit, man, my pies are going for $1,000. Albinos are going for $3,000.
Right.
Right. Government contract for ball pythons would be
yeah.
That'd be sweet.
Oh yeah, I'm selling a pine for $5,000. Let's go, baby.
Right? It's even got paradox. Now it's 10.
Do you think at some point, like, do you think the market goes in circles, like certain genes that are reasonably priced right now are going to go back up, or do you think they're going to just maintain where they're at?
Purely by what's available, honestly. It's going to be like if there's 40,000 of them available, it's never going to be high priced. So it's got to be an odd gene that's in low number. That's the only way it ever works,
Or possibly, I'm not saying this is going to be 100% true, but possibly if that gene, if somebody does something with it and it's really taking off doing big things, that could possibly make that value go back up.
Yeah, I don't think you're ever going to see the price of base recessives go anywhere near what it once was. You go to your shows now, most of your recessives are selling for, $75 to $150, and without any other expensive kicker genes attached to them. I just don't see them recovering from that. I mean, obviously, the market was it's like the housing market used to be. It was too high. It needed a reset, and the reset came, and now it's just trying to flounder a bit and find its median again. But I don't think it's ever going to be anywhere close to where it was.
That's what I said before, though, is the market was high before, and now people are bitching, and it's like, well, this to me is like what it should have been. I hate to say it, but that's to me what it like. There was ridiculous prices on some of these snakes just 3 years ago, and you're like, are you out your mind? But I don't know.
I never thought I'd see the day where corn snakes were selling for more than ball pythons.
So that raises my second question, right? So like if you're working a certain project and you do create a world's first, is it in your best interest to hold on to that animal and get that value for it?
Absolutely.
And then
I would
slow release it, and then what do you set your prices at?
But see, that world's first is a hard subject.
That's a very hard question.
Because I've seen world's first go for little to nothing, and some world's first go for a shit ton of money. That's a really hard subject because some people look at it as like, oh my God, you just created the first, and some people look at it as like that's not a big deal.
Well, it depends on who you talk to, too, right?
Correct.
I think your name and reputation also play a big part in that too, right?
Well, I think your main factors are going to be number one, what's it look like, and number two, how much hype can you create around it?
Correct.
I think
And number 3, how many of those base genes are out there? So if you make a pastel OD lesser, I don't care if it's a world's first or not, there's a billion of all 3 genes out there.
John,
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you make a pastel lesser monsoon, now you're limiting it to the monsoon. There's only so many monsoon. It's purely by numbers, in my opinion. You can make the prettiest snake in the world, but if it's the most common genes there are, it's still not going to be worth anything. You know what I mean?
Wow.
It's just,
I like that outlook of it for sure. I definitely like that.
I was going to name off an example of something, and that you just literally named off the genes I was almost going to say. I was going to say like an orange dream lesser something. But yeah, like that's not going to bring that money, even if it was a world's first.
Yeah, it's purely by how available is that. So if you have those project genes, your dinkers and things, keep that extremely limited, guys. Do not start passing that stuff out into thousands of these things next year, because that's where things are tanking. If you look around and you see what whole... Right, exactly. I mean, that's where things are tanking. It's purely in how available it is. If there's 5,000 to choose from, you're going to basically name your price as a buyer, not as a seller.
Right.
You know, it flips the script, regardless of what it looks like.
We've been in this era where your COVID breeders are now dropping off like flies. How much longer do you think that that's going to continue before we get to a base core of what's going to remain?
Now, I'm a COVID breeder.
You think so? You think we're there?
Like
I think
within
we're
a year
very
or two,
close.
they have to all be gone.
Like if they're not gone, I would say if they're not either about out the door, then it's pretty much, you know, because I'm definitely one of those guys, and I'm here to stay. I mean, I didn't go this fucking far for no reason, you know, but that's how I can put it. Like that's because I thought about that same exact shit you just asked, Greg, is with the COVID breeders, is like how many of them of me are out there still left is what I wonder, you know, and there is a lot that have gone.
A lot of got into it just for the money, thinking they'd make a quick buck, and then just like invested a ton of money, and then took a huge hit when they figured out that they weren't making money and had to sell off their animals.
Well, people were getting those kickback checks and wanting to spend those checks and thinking it was a good investment to go put it on a ball python at that time, because they're sitting at home 24/7, and it just wasn't the right thing.
Now,
you know?
how many people are sitting on animals that they have had them and had to feed them for so long because the market was just shit?
Right.
That, you know, you'll never make back on that animal in today's prices what you spent feeding it.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, but do you think that the prices might have a little bit of an upswing because of that? People trying to get back some of their investment, or do you think it's just going to continue to fall like it has been?
This is my opinion, though, with selling your animals, you got to do the work. Like, there should be no problem to sell these animals. As long as you get out there and do the footwork, and like fuck, you can get in your car and drive around the pet shop to pet shop, like mom and pop pet shops, and wholesale animals and get rid of them. That's where I hear in the hobby where people are like, yeah, I sell these animals and this and that. It's like, yeah, well, you're also trying to get rich off these animals, A, and B, you're just going to keep sitting on them when you can just get rid of them and get the rack space and keep more moving in and keep it running and keep it moving in a circle, you know, more or less. Why are you going to start a snake and probably try to make $700, $800 off it when you go get rid of 3 or 4, you know? Right. You're running a business here, technically. Especially you got this many animals, you're running a business. You are running a business. You have to think business-wise. You can't just think, oh, I'm going to hold on to, unless you're only producing 3 or 4 clutches a year. Okay, cool, whatever. But to me, you're wasting money. You're throwing money out the door. Why are you going to do it?
So I kind of look at it a little weird too. So like what you guys are saying about the guys hanging on to these animals they can't sell and get the price for. Also an animal that's not out in circulation in some hands that's going to reproduce it. So that guy that's stuck with that animal isn't going to produce animals with that animal. He's stuck with one already. He doesn't want 8 more, right? So that kind of creates a stagnant pool in a weird way, which is good, actually. Like the longer you hang on to that animal and it's not a pair of hands that's going to reproduce some of the same offspring, is better for us that it sits in this guy's pool for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, where it's not out flooding things worse.
Exactly.
Right. Well,
And to
we've
me,
seen that
I'd rather
already.
do that. Yeah.
We've seen that already.
And I'd rather.
Genes, right? Like spot nose and red stripe and desert ghost.
Right.
So I think everything, to your point, it's going to work in cycles. I think it's just how long do you want to hold on to it and see if it comes back around.
Well, and it won't.
When is it to a point where you're wasting money and feeding this animal and feeding this animal and feeding this animal? Then you go to try to make that high dollar off of it, and you really didn't make nothing off of it at the end of the day. That's where my thought process of the whole situation is. You know,
well,
yes,
see, that's
the market and the pool of the market and saturating the market and pulling it down. Well, don't saturate. Don't just create just to create. Also, you know, that's be smart as well.
Exactly.
But there is that. That's my standpoint on it, is what I think of it. You know.
So that was my point mainly, Justin, is exactly that, because we've done that with animals. We have several animals right now that we absolutely aren't going to use. We also are not going to sell them, because the reason we would keep them, they're feasible for a breeder project, a very low end breeder project, but it gets somebody started on things that aren't doing the community any good. So it puts it in the hands of somebody who is going to produce with it. We'd rather keep that and eat the rat every week and put it in hands to have more of that out there. So we intentionally we don't keep it because it's going to be higher price later. We have no illusion of that thing all of a sudden being worth more. But I also don't want 50,000 of these things being produced by people that are starting in with the wrong impression. Correct. So we're giving these animals out into a situation where it's a decent starter animal, but it's not a bunch of stuff we want reproduced 40 times. So why would we create that scenario, which only hurts us and everyone else more by putting it out there? Do you see what I mean? It's like, that is hard to do, but when you produce these in your head, when you make this animal, I'm keeping this thing for 30 years. Every egg that comes out of your incubator, you better be prepared to hang on to that animal for 30 years. And if you're not, and you're not willing to do that, you've already kind of got the wrong mindset, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But for the market, for everybody's best interest, for us to sit on something for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, until things start to level out or become a normalcy, I don't mind that, instead of putting it in some hopeful hands, thinking they're going to do something with it and produce a bunch of stuff that doesn't help anybody. Do you see what I mean? Like, you're basically killing yourself by putting that one animal to get it out of your rack. You're killing your own market. You're sinking your own market, pushing them out there. If that makes any sense. And you have no gain on it now. We don't have a hope for a gain on it a year from now. The point is, we're not going to make things worse by, pushing the stuff out the door where someone's going to reproduce with that animal. But why? We don't need more of that. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's a balance. I get that, and I don't mean to sound, self-righteous or anything like that. It's just the viewpoint I keep myself to say, I'd rather not have this stuff out there everywhere. What for? It's
You're always going to get that first-time breeder that wants to breed just because they want to breed. They want to be able to call themselves a breeder.
Right.
So they're gonna go out here. They're gonna produce a clutch of pastels, and then they're gonna figure out that they can't move them. They can't get rid of them. They can't make any money on them. So you're gonna end up giving them away. So now you've got another 6 to 8 animals out there. When you think about how many times that occurs, in the hobby, I don't know that there's a solution for it. That cycle's going to continue. I mean, that's.
Yeah. Right. So that's exactly right, Greg. But what I'm saying is those 12 animals that we decide to keep instead of putting out there is 12 less of those circumstances. Because we're not breeding them. Do you see what I mean? And if everybody had that mindset, that wouldn't be going on as much. People would be like, well, how come I can't get these and pair them? Well, because we don't need more of those. You don't need to have this animal to pair it. That's what people should be telling people, not take this animal and have fun, go pair a bunch. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Well, that is true though, John. Like, and unfortunately, it's like you do see that a lot. Though there's people that'll sit here and they've got some low end, you know, a pastel lesser clown, and it's like, well, this person that's just getting into it, that's never had a snake, is wanting this, and they're like, okay, well, I'd like to get that and breed it. What do you think? And the person's sitting there damn well knowing that it's not the greatest. And like, oh yeah, sure, you know, yeah, that'd be cool, man. And da da da. It's like, well, no, you shouldn't be telling them to do that. Like, I don't want to sit there and tell somebody to be breeding something out there that isn't garbage, but it's not what your average or your pet or your breeder is going to want. And I mean, even then, it's going to get to a point where just your typical pet person eventually is going to be buying stuff more better than what there is now. They're not going to be buying a pastel lesser clown. Eventually, they're going to be buying some nice, you know, banger out there, right? You know, something that's got some more stuff into it and better. So
what do you feel about like the pet store? Like, because I'm producing lower end stuff, but the lower end stuff I'm doing is not going on Morph Market. It's going to local pet shops. You know,
yeah,
which, like that
to more likely a pet owner, more or less. You know, and it's to me, it's like, am I saturating the market by doing that, or am I more just, you know,
like
technically
that,
not? You know, that's my question on that. You know,
if you're setting out with the intent to create those lower end animals, and there's no chance of you creating anything further, then I would say yes, you're contributing to the problem. But if those animals that you're releasing to your pet shops are your byproduct for something, you know, a next level animal that you're trying to reach, then I don't necessarily see that.
More stuff that they request. It's more stuff that they request. You know, is what I, you know, like.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say
absolutely.
some of it isn't byproduct that's going to go me further, but it is stuff that they request, more or less. You know, but I know I can go get rid of a whole bunch like that real quick, make the money, and just walk away and move on to the next one. You know.
Well, if they have enough demand for it to come to you and request that, then obviously they've got enough demand to probably move those animals, right? So then,
correct.
Maybe that's not, you know, maybe that's not the issue.
Correct. That's just my thought on it, because I am doing that. You know, I have reached out to quite a few, and there's some out there that definitely told me, hey, whenever, you know, this is what I look for, and I've been still in contact with them, and when they hit the ground, they're going, you know. Would that help for bedding? Would that help for little shit in the building or little extra shit that we need? Absolutely, that would help, you know. So it's going to further me into my progression as well, as I look at as well, you know.
So how many pet stores do you have in your immediate area? Say within 20 miles of you, how many pet stores?
Within a 30-mile radius? Well, should I say within a 30, 40-mile radius? You're talking over a couple dozen.
Wow. That must be nice. Because in my
I could drive within an hour out, and you can't even. It's crazy. It's crazy.
I can count on one hand the amount of pet shops that I can hit that are carrying reptiles within 30 miles of me.
Me too.
Some it's not that easy.
You're in Florida. Well, I'm in Florida, so there's a dime a dozen around here for sure. You know.
Hey,
They're in flea markets. I mean, I could sell, like, literally the flea markets have reptile shops in them.
Wow. What's that, Mark?
I was just going to say, I just had some company show up, guys, so I'm going to head out. But Vance, I really appreciate having me on.
Hey, no problem, Mark. I'm glad to have you on.
Yeah, for sure. And then Seven with Serpents is coming on, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, Serpents is coming soon.
Here in about 30 minutes. Well, enjoy your Memorial Day week, Mark. And I'll be catching you around.
Sure.
Take it easy, brother.
Later, everybody.
Later, Mark.
See you, Mark.
Yeah, I'll be shutting this down here in a minute anyways.
Yeah, I gotta go back.
But like that, Justin, like there's certain things like in that situation, I don't see that being an issue, because if it's going, and that's what I was going to say earlier, if it's going to like an expo where just somebody's just buying a pet or it's going to a pet store, and that issue, that doesn't matter. But if you were doing it for the purpose of it's going to breeders or something, you know what I mean? Then
no,
if that person that's coming in is wanting to breed, then no, but for just going to expo or something like that, I don't see that as being a big deal.
I'm not even taking them to expos. They're literally going to pet shops. You know, that's literally
like that.
I'm not
Like
taking them to expos at all. You
just
know,
a pet
I'm not
person.
putting them online. Nobody would really even know about them. You know, more or less. They come in and go out. It's no heard of, no see, no do, no harm foul. You know, FWC knows about it. That's for damn sure. But
it's just like the pieds. I mean, pieds are normal, man, but you know, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna be producing 2 or 3 clutches a year and selling them as long as I'm selling to people that are just keeping them as pets.
Pieds and bells are always going to be in demand. You know, that's 2 snakes that people come looking for. Actually, the 3.
Bananas.
You know, they come looking for bananas. They come looking for pieds. They come looking for bells. And if you're lucky, you might be able to sell an albino or 2 in that mix. But
exactly,
those are your bangers right there at the shows.
Right. And that's what I was kind of getting at. Like at that first vending experience with these people coming through, very, very first 1 or 2 questions out of my mouth to these people is like, what are your plans? Oh, I don't know much about these. I want a pet. Oh, great. Here's the row for that stuff. You know, if you don't want to breed, this is where you want to start. These are beautiful. They're going to be well behaved for you. You're going to love this animal. Oh, I'm going to breed. Oh, okay. Well, then you're going to want to look at like row 3 here where they're at $500-$600 and these actually could contribute to a project that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? But I think people are just shoving whatever the person's going to take is what I'm getting at. And that mindset needs to kind of go away. Like if you know full well this person's interested in starting their own collection and pairing, and you're selling off this stuff that doesn't make sense to pair at all, like just don't do that. You've got to have some conscious about that and just, you know, not offer that up.
Exactly.
And
yeah, I agree. I went and sit there and said something to somebody and say, oh yeah, you know, you're going to make some great stuff with this or that. That's wrong.
Right. Yeah.
Humans are going to human, and I let them make their own choices. I'll try to discourage them if it's a bad choice or try to point them in the right direction. But, you know, fuck around and find out. It's all I can say.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's in a protective mindset of yourself and the community knowing, again, you're right, Greg, some people are not going to admit it or they're not going to say it, or maybe they are interested and they just want to do something to try it and be cheap, right? You can't weed all of it out, but you have to make that attempt and at least put the right mindset. Like, look, there's a lot of these out here. That's why it's $80. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't need more of these out there. So if that's your intent, please don't take this.
Don't do it.
Go this route and go into a project that makes sense and talk to them about that. Talk to them about how it works and how many of those they'd have to produce and not sell before they close up shop like all these other guys. Do you know what I mean? And it's, you have to put that out there.
The only way I would do that, John, is like, say, a pastel lesser orange dream or something. The only way to sit there and for somebody to buy something like that would be if you were going to get a couple other genes like that are not worked.
Right.
And then you could put something and create your own path. But other than that, like you said, I wouldn't even, that would be a wrong thing to do.
Yeah.
It's the very first thing we ask, like, what do you have any? What is your intent with the animal? Because that's more important than what the animal is to me. It's like, what is your plan for this? If you genuinely want to produce animals, don't start here. This is what everybody's here or beyond that, and you're going to produce things that aren't needed. And I'll be very honest with them right out of the gate. Like, we don't need more of these. So if that's your intent, please start here or have some realistic idea of what your actual plan is. You know, I plead with people and I try to be very nice about it. I don't demean them for the price amount or whatever it is, but they have to have it in their head, you know.
Another discussion that I had today at the show, actually, with another vendor was, you know, you'll have these people who want to go out here and do it and try it just because they want to do it. And that guy that's out there who's making 1 or 2 clutches a year, he doesn't care if the snakes are selling for $50 a piece, because for him, he's still making money off of that. because he doesn't have all this overhead. He doesn't have $5,000 worth of racks behind him. He doesn't have a $1,000 a month rat bill. So that guy's going to be out there, but luckily that's going to be small scale enough, and
never going to flood a market on that kind of number, right?
Right.
I mean,
right.
Yeah, I agree, Greg. I mean, it's going to happen, but
yeah.
Oh, they're saying it starts now, guys. 7:30.
Yeah.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
I appreciate everyone for coming on. Everybody in the comments, the chat. I appreciate you guys. I hope you all have a good weekend. Enjoy your Memorial Week. John, Greg, Will, I appreciate you guys jumping on as usual.
Always.
You guys have an awesome Memorial Weekend. Everybody stay safe. Jump over to Sipping with Serpents and watch that. And I will catch you guys all next week. And remember, 3 more months, the Thunderdome's football season's coming up, so be prepared. Until next time, you guys, take it easy.
Peace out, guys.